Let the battle begin!
And that's going to be a 4-man mosh pit with the Ring of Frost connecting huge.
This is actually going to be the big showdown.
And that's a triple kill.
A huge flame strike going on to everybody. Here's the Riptire onto DiMaggio. DiMaggio's in trouble.
We might have a comeback for the ages.
It's very close. This boss is not even dead, but 65% of the core here. This could be game.
All right, everyone, and welcome to the NGS Showdown pregame show. And tonight, I've decided to wear my red power tie because we have a couple of NGS powerhouses ready to get down to some business. So without further ado, let's get ready for some Heroes of the Storm. I'm, of course, your esteemed host, Turd Herder, and tonight, we'll be bringing you an inside look into our featured matchup. This week is going to be Lurk Patrol versus Ginormous Jaegers, coming to us out of Division C West. This one has a couple of NGS veterans on the team, so you should recognize a couple of the players. As always, to help us do this, we are going to be brought by our two most experienced analysts. Covering Lurk Patrol will be our lead analyst, Arthanau, and this week we're going to have Ziltoid covering Ginormous Jaegers. Let's kick things off with an interview with the team captain of Lurk Patrol, Gunny. Take it away, Arthanau.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Showdown. I am here with the captain of Lurk Patrol, Gunny. How are you doing, Gunny?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad myself. You excited for this week's Showdown? You're participating in it?
Yeah, well, I always look forward to playing the matches. It's good to put a little bit of week's practice into force and see what happens. Looking forward to it. Especially nice to have such an audience to our match. It should be pretty exciting. It puts a lot of weight on it.
Yeah, every Showdown's a lot of fun, and every Showdown's been some of our biggest viewed content. No pressure. So, how are you guys practicing for this Showdown? How often do you guys practice, I should say?
Well, we haven't been doing as much structured practice. Excuse my dog.
Oh, that's okay.
As much structured practice as I would have liked, but we've mostly been going into Team League as a group and trying to stay on roles that we're looking to fill. A lot of our team got shaken up from last season, so we're still looking to figure out where everybody falls. Traditionally, I've been playing main damage for the team, and now I'm switching more into the engagement and tanking roles, so we're just been grinding out and figuring out where everyone's going to fit in the team right now, so that's been a lot of what we're doing.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have a fairly different roster from last season, and it's kind of a regrowing period, which you guys are doing quite well so far in this season, so that's not too bad. But, you know, there's sometimes growing pains, and you got to figure it out, and sometimes you can't do too much practice.
Yeah. Well, all in all, we're just here to have a good time. We play NGS because, in my opinion, 5 stacks are where the most fun is in this game, and coordinated play and setup matches are some of the most fun you can have. So we're mostly here to have a good time. We're not trying to push our MMR or our skill as far as we absolutely can. We're just here to have a good time.
So your opponent seems to be doing pretty well too. So how do you guys go about scouting? Obviously, you don't want to give away any strategies, and I'm not going to make you. But how do you go about it?
So one of the strategies the Lurk Patrol has is to divvy out the week's the pre-match. The pre-match load. So a lot of what Ektar does is goes and looks at VODs and looks at Stats of the Storm and figures out what maps they like to play, what comps they'd like to play on those maps, so that I can then adjust our drafting strategy. And a lot of what I do is figure out, okay, let's say we know that they like to play Blaze a lot. Okay, well, we know how to deal with Blaze. We can set up Malfurion routes, we can set up a lockdown and just blow them up. And so I'll affect the draft based on that report. So right now, where we are in prepping for our match, Ektar's been doing the good research and figuring out, okay, we're thinking they're going to do something like this, this, or this, and then I'll try to figure out what holes I can see in their comps or what limits they have in their hero pools to target ban. and that's generally how we've been approaching it. And if they favor a map that we don't like, we'll just ban it outright and move on.
Awesome. So, do you often sit down and watch full VODs, or do you just go through the draft? I know I've heard people approach both ways.
Last season we did that a lot, where we'd watch our previous VODs, our previous match, to see, okay, our positioning fell apart at about the 10-minute mark, and it got our backline dove. We haven't been doing too much of that this season. This is only going to be our second actual match played, so we haven't had too much chance to do that. But we do watch VODs on our own time. It's just there's only so many hours in the day that we can get all 5 people behind the computer, so we tend to like to play matches when we have that time. So that's kind of what we've been focusing on doing is, if we're all here, let's get matches in, because that's going to be the most effective way to get us functioning as a team.
I understand that everyone has lives, and it's hard to get 5 people on nowadays, but that's kind of similar to what we do. And it always feels good whenever you accomplish it. So I'm seeing that you guys in your first series ran a fair amount of Ana. Is that a comfort pick? Let's see, who was it? It was Ektar. Oh, well, and Harnock. Oh, so you guys switched off there. Is Ana a comfort pick, or do you guys like where she's at in the meta?
Ana's ridiculous right now, man. She's just a really good hero. I wish in our first match that Eye of Horus wasn't bugged. I think it would have really worked well. And I think our game 1 match we really wanted Eye, but obviously it was banned due to the bugs. I think the Leo bug was still in there, and so was the healing of a vehicle, although it wasn't a vehicle map if I remember right. Either way, it is banned for NGS, so we couldn't take it. But I think she's one of the strongest supports in the meta right now. So yeah, it's a bit of comfort, and it's a lot more of where she places in the meta. I think Ektar might have the largest support pool of support players I've ever seen, so we play what's in the meta because Ektar can play just about all of them.
That's always great to have. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. Ana's grenade build in particular right now is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And
holy hand grenade of anti-arc, man. It just...
It's true. It really is. And I'm also seeing here Nazebo. I have not seen a lot of Nazebo at NGS this season, which maybe I'm just not looking at the right games.
What map was that on?
Also Ektar. What? Okay, I promise I'm not trying to hunt down Ektar.
Yeah, that was on Tomb. Tomb's one of our comfort maps that we feel pretty cozy on, and we tend to like, because we're more cozy on that map, we can afford a later game strategy. It didn't end up working out in that match, but that tends to be our focus, is more on scaling to the late game and then closing it out. I think the match before we picked up an Asmodean, which can have a lot more late game punish, along with Nazebo in the second match. So that tends to be a draft strategy we tend to go for, is let's figure out what our end game is, what's our win condition on the map, and let's try to build towards that, as opposed to taking more of an early game centered comp and trying to cheese it out before that starts to punish us.
In that case, would you consider yourself more of a macro team than a team fight team?
We tend to be macro minded when it comes to draft, but at the moment we've been more team fight heavy.
Okay, which that's a really generic way to place a team, but I find it's somewhat easy to put teams in boxes like that.
Yep.
Even though that's unhealthy.
It is what it is. I would like for us to be a macro team, but I think Ektar would give me crap for being too bloodlusty on my damage for that to be true.
Yeah, well, Ektar main's Puff. So
that he does, apparently.
So do you have any friendly trash talk or any words for Ginormous Jaguars? Jaegers, however you say it.
I hope they have good luck and have fun.
Oh man, that's so friendly. You were so much nicer than the guy from last week.
BM's not my thing when it comes to people I've never met. Now, if I was playing against a team that we scrimmed against regularly, I'd throw some shade, but I don't step on toes that I don't see.
Well, awesome. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come talk to me. And do you have any final words before we sign off?
Well, I hope Lurk Patrol gives them hell.
Thanks, Arth. Now, of course, it's only fair to give both captains some airtime, so let's send it on over to Ziltoid for an interview with the team captain for Ginormous Jaegers, Mr. Ogle the Great.
Hello there, and welcome to the pregame of the Thursday Night Showdown of Lurk Patrol versus Ginormous Jaegers. And today I have the great, the one, the only Ogle the Great joining me today. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How are you?
Great. Glad to have you on the show. So we got
I'm
a
glad to
big
be here.
hyped matchup coming up here this weekend. Try to get either one of you guys' team to kind of start jumping up the ranking systems here and see who can get a nice little playoff spot. So let's talk about your first match versus Dat Task, though, and of course the following match after that. How's it been feeling in C West so far? What's the level of competition like? How you guys? How's your team gelling together? Give us a bit of the lowdown.
The lowdown. Well, the week one was kind of a catastrophe. We had a couple players just drop off our roster right before the season started, so we ended up pulling in a couple people we hadn't really played with, and yeah, that first matchup went pretty poorly. We did well though. I think we had 5 games together. Week 2, we definitely started meshing together as a team a lot better, and got a lot more games in together as 5-man. And we were able to pull off the win there for the overall, but we did end up losing the second game. I think we got a little too excited after that first win.
Now, Dat Task, though, was actually my pick for C West's top of this division, so not all that surprising that a new team like yourselves would run into a pretty veteran squad of those guys and kind of have a bit of a trouble. Can't counterpick Stupid is one that I think one of my co-analysts on Nexus Edge was pointing out to be a pretty powerful pick. So also the fact that you guys were able to take the win, regardless of whether it's domination or not, definitely shows that you had some significant improvement from week 1 to week 2. Talking a little bit about your guys' draft picks or strategies, do you tend to favor specific heroes? Like, are you guys very set? Are you role set? Are you a bit flexible? Like, how do you guys kind of approach a bit of your drafting?
We're pretty role set. We've messed around a little bit in Team League with some stuff because you don't have the swaps.
Yeah.
When we picked a hero too early and then decided, we should have had the soul laner on this hero and put the tank on the other one. But mostly we're pretty much just role set. We do tend to favor things that we're comfortable on, which I think is generally a good idea. And sometimes we've drafted wonky comps just because we were more comfortable on heroes that didn't necessarily fit the comp perfectly.
Okay, no problem. So, yeah, I see Zeratul, I see Jaina, I see Raynor, very top of the meta type of stuff. Anubrak. Arthas Interior, a little bit more fringe, but definitely still very much in the meta. So, I'm sure we can expect to see a little bit more of that coming up. So, what do you know about Lurk Patrol? How are you guys feeling about the upcoming match here?
I'm feeling good. We definitely started meshing together a lot better as a team with the practices we've got in lately and scrims. I haven't done the scouting report on Lurk Patrol yet, but I'm getting ready to do that pretty soon here. So you may have caught me just a little too early.
Okay. So so you don't really know the Lurk Patrol team all that well. You haven't really seen them play.
I think I watched one of their games, and it wasn't anything that stood out to me necessarily. They're still a good team. They've obviously played together before, and they hit their combos and stuff. So we'll definitely be looking to not be too edgy on them, but
what is your keys to victory in
game.
this matchup, do you?
We'll definitely want to put some priority on first pick. I know that everyone keeps giving us a hard time about only ever choosing first pick, but I don't know. I don't feel like there's any maps in the current pool that are a problem for us. And I don't know, just try to outdraft him for sure. I think that we do pretty well in team fights. So, if they do end up trying to take first pick, we'll just take them to a team fight map and show them who's boss.
That seems like a winning strategy. Any predictions before we sign off here today?
Well, I'd tell you that we're going to get the 2-0, but I'm not 100% sure. Only about 95. So
You're backing
but it'll
off
be a
on
fun
the
match.
spice,
It'll-
man.
It'll,
No, I need
it'll be a
confidence.
fun match.
I need
Only
confidence
95%
here.
sure it's a 2-0.
I need
I've got
100%.
5% that they take
No,
one game
I
off
need
us.
100% 2-0. This is no way Lurk Patrol can contest you guys.
Oh, okay. Let's go with that then.
All right. Thank you for joining us today, Ogle. I totally appreciate it, and I'm excited to see this matchup come through. I'll definitely be watching, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we're going to have for today. But don't you go anywhere, because coming right up after this is going to be the NGS Thursday Night Showdown. We're going to go ahead and send it on over to Murda and Ghost Dunk on the cast and get this match underway. I want to give a big thanks to all of our cast and crew for tonight, all of those behind the scenes, and thank you all to you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the match. This is Turd here saying, adios amigos. See you next time.
Hey, everybody, welcome to NGS Thursday Night Showdown. You told me I was doing it, Murda.
No, I panicked. I did. I'm sorry.
Joining me, I've jumped the gun, my co-host here tonight, my caster in crime, Murda. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, it's Thursday night. We're back again. I'm glad to be here. And ladies and gentlemen, we have another special guest that's going to be joining us throughout the night. From Celeb Gaming, we got Satat going to be dropping some analysis on us this evening. So thanks for joining us. How you doing, man?
Awesome. Happy to be here. Glad to be able to provide some expert analysis for these games and hopefully help some people out.
Awesome. So we're gonna be bringing them on after drafts, kind of analyzing pregame. We'll bring him on after, talk about how things went, and we'll try to get him involved in some of this conversation. Have a good time tonight.
Sounds great.
Excellent.
I'm watching the front of the stream where I jump off on you talking. I feel so bad, man. I'm sorry.
Turn off the stream, man. Stop looking at yourself.
We got teams. Are we good to go? What are we waiting on here? We got anything to talk about you guys want to say? Oh shit.
That's, by the way, that's our producer. He's probably, his voice is probably off by now. We getting a note from our producer to go over the map bans. We've got the first ban was Sky Temple, and of course, we did the coin flip. Lurk Patrol won the coin flip, and they want first hero pick. That meant that Ginormous Jaegers banned Sky Temple. Lurk Patrol responded with banning Volskaya Foundry, and Ginormous Jaegers are taking us to Towers of Doom.
Ooh. Usually, I'm seeing this in Game 3s. Teams like to close out sets on Towers of Doom, but coming here early, that's fine with me. The Ginormous Jaegers, I think, are excited to get to work on a map that they like to play.
Yeah, it's a great map, and I'm really excited to cast it. It's one of the best esports map, I think, probably in all games, not just Heroes of the Storm. I'm serious.
Is there bias?
I mean, a little bit, because I think the game is fun, but I think the map is far more interesting than any MOBA map. I haven't watched any esports on like Apex or Fortnite or anything like that, but I think those maps are like, battle royales are one thing, but like having just the tension of the shots and being able to come back from one shot down to 40, it's an amazing event, and I'm excited to cast it. And let's see if we get a good game going.
Ghost, I had a game on Towers of Doom last week that the team lost the kill count, something like 19 to like 12. It's like a lot of kills going the other way. But the team who won was that team who had less kills. They won by 29 core health.
Wow.
I've never seen a game of Towers of Doom anything like it, where the team winning all the fights lost by 29 shots.
I mean, it's all about, what those kills actually mean in the game. I mean, you can look at overall stats over a large number of games, and usually most kills win. But if you look at one individual game, like, it depends, like, did they control bottom the whole time? Maybe they were just losing, people defending bottom four. Maybe they, just died at the right time. It's all about timing on this map.
Definitely agree. We'll see if these teams are ready to get to work on this map and pick up map number 1 in a best-of-3 set. And we're talking about teams that are sitting here both with 4 map wins on the season. Lurk Patrol 2 losses, Ginormous Jaegers with 3. But this is a Thursday night showdown with 2 very evenly matched teams, Ghost.
Yeah, both these teams, I believe they have the same match record, but I think is it Ginormous Jaegers has more dominations than Lurk Patrol. So both 2-1, and it looks like we're ready to go, getting into the draft here in Towers of Doom. But this is a key moment in the season for both of these teams. They're kind of at the bottom of the standings, but a lot of the other teams have played that 4th game. This is the 4th game for both of these teams, and this is really make or break. It's either they separate themselves and move towards the top, or they have to climb their way up from the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, last night I casted a match between Can't Counterpick Stupid and Dive Hard. Mm-hmm. That was the number 1 and 2 teams here in this division. Yep. And tonight we're coming in watching these 2 squads who are also, like I said, very evenly matched, but a different part of the standings. And they want to catch up to these teams at the top. They want to start picking off Can't Counterpick Stupid and work towards catching up with Dive Hard as well. And it starts here tonight up against someone who's very evenly matched.
Yeah, being 2-1 is really just right on the edge. You go up to 3-1, or you go down to 2-2, and you really have to catch up with points. You have to start getting dominations. And both of these teams, a domination would be huge for both of them.
So let's talk about a couple of these bans we see so far. Very meta with Zeratul and Ana so far. Absolutely. 5 seconds on the clock for Lurk Patrol, and I'd expect to kind of see more of this meta theme. And indeed, it's going to be a new brag.
Yeah, Nubrak, probably a top-tier tank among most teams. I imagine Diablo making a run for the Bugs' money. Depends on who you talk to. It's either Diablo or Nubrak. Garrosh, of course, is always very good. There are a lot of tanks that have niches, but a Nubrak with that cocoon can just shut down a team's entire plan.
I mean, his engage is just far too good. He shuts you down with 2 stuns and throws one of your most vital heroes inside a cocoon. Yeah, so Diablo also banned out. Means we're getting a little bit deeper into this pool. Something like a Garrosh maybe comes into thought now.
Yeah, Garrosh first pick. However, Maiev still on the board. Medivh still on the board. If we're talking meta, those are 2 big names that, especially on Towers of Doom, good map for either of those heroes for Lurk Patrol.
So we're going to find out in just 3 seconds or sooner. It's going to be a really
absolutely not what I expected.
Muradin.
Very early Muradin. I could see that maybe on Brax's Holdout, but Brax's Holdout no longer in the NGS map pool. Muradin on Towers of Doom, I think like one of the things Muradin does real well is rotate and on people, like being able to get ganks and such. But he doesn't have as much utility as a lot of the other popular tanks, so it could be a comfort pick or could be something special.
Ooh,
what is happening?
Players are starting to look at Rexxar. I mean, this hero has moved considerably if you look at Hotslog's win percentages up since that rework, giving more damage to Rexxar, a little bit less to Misha, but she regains it in the charge. It's an overall damage boost. This hero's starting to be real, Ghost.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say what is happening, but Rexar has gotten a lot better. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that Rexar is a real hero now. And actually, no, I misspoke. Rexar is absolutely not a real hero. Misha is a real hero who has a mobile turret that she brings along with her.
Well, I mean, like I said, they did try to make Rexar feel more like an actual thing, where if he's throwing his axes or whatever they are at heroes, they're going to hurt a lot more than they used to. But on something like Braxis Holdout, where you're talking, we might see some of these other heroes be more popular, like the Muradin. Rexar also has a place there on Braxis Holdout, and maybe not as much on Towers of Doom.
I'm looking at these drafts, and it feels like we're playing Braxis Holdout, not Towers of Doom.
Did they get the memo?
Towers of Braxis. Oh, whoops. But the Gul'dan coming out along with the Falstad. The Falstad I get. Globals are huge on Towers of Doom.
So Dahaka ban, they don't even need to because they have Rexar. So like, they take the Falstad, they get the global, and now they're looking at what, like a Brightwing? If they want any sort of global, they're not gonna be able to match it, and that's really what they got with the Falstad.
Oh no, Dahaka. They're gonna get Dahaka if they want global.
Really? Triple Warrior?
No, not Triple Warrior though. Like, so they've already passed up on their biggest global possibility.
Yeah, so I'm not too mad about the Falstad. I think it actually works in that pick.
Oh yeah, no, I like the Falstad for sure. It's good. I think he's an underrated hero at the moment in the meta. A little bit, not a lot.
They maybe could have prioritized the Haka themselves instead, but you know, whatever it is. Deckard, Kane, and Hanzo are the picks here for Ginormous Jaegers. And now we're really starting to see what this draft's looking like. I love having the Hanzo with a big, beefy frontline Johanna and Rexar.
Yeah, that's looking real good for team fights, especially if Rexar stays good. I'm wondering, I mean, with the Gul'dan, I think the Deckard is going to be a good... Whoa, okay.
What? Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. So
this is what we're doing.
This is why we didn't get the Haka, because the offlane is just going to be Vikings.
Yeah.
Alex Straza, the support pick. Do we see value with Dragon on this map?
I mean, there's always value when you hit the D button playing Alex Straza. Like, it's just period. I mean, there's always going to be big shrine fights when it comes down to it. Altars, not shrines, whatever. But Alex Straza holds the Dragon Queen for those big fights. It's going to be huge. And then there's the Li Ming trying to maybe take advantage of some Viking resets, maybe.
Well, hey, Ghost, enough of us. Let's go over to our analyst. Once again, reporting from Celeb Gaming, we got Satat. What do you think about these two drafts here?
Okay, so just going through the drafts, Muradin, a weird first pick, but it's understandable on Towers of Doom because Muradin has the ability to slow down rotations, and that's one of the biggest things. If you can slow down rotations and you get experience advantage on Towers of Doom, you can get a big lead. Rexar actually on this map has been something we've been trying, and it's a decent pick, and it does well into Falstad, but now he's going to be into Vikings, which I think Rexar does extremely well because the bear has enough speed to keep up with the Vikings. So I think Rexar is a good pick even early on. Hanzo, Li Ming, both really strong heroes. Especially with that front line of Joe, like Rexar, like both of you guys said. And Deckard, it's surprising taking Alex Straza into Deckard, because Deckard is a soft counter to Alex Straza because of the heal reduction on 7. I would be surprised if Deckard didn't go. Yeah. And even Lornado can interrupt Dragon a lot and keep her from popping Dragon. So I'll let you guys go to it, but I give the draft over to Johanna, the Ginormous Jaegers, for this one.
All right.
Awesome. Anyways,
do you want to introduce our team on the left here?
I absolutely will. On the left here, we've got Lurk Patrol on the side of the Raven Lord with Ektar playing those Lost Vikings. Bickle on the Gul'dan. Falstad, played by Hidef, and Gunny is playing Muradin.
And over on the right-hand side, we got Nemesis playing Li Ming. Odd Thought on the Deckard Kane. Ogle the Great playing Hanzo. Dark Knight on, I think that's Johanna, and last but not least, it's Gambit playing Rexar. They are Ginormous Jaegers.
The Rexar Gambit, as it were.
Wait, I didn't say this yet, but that last pick, Li Ming, brilliant up against these Vikings. It's going to be Reset City for the Arcane Mage.
We got some trash talk from the Vikings player, and the Vikings player has enough time to type. That sure says something. But the 4-man of Lurk Patrol starting in the bottom lane, and that's immediate control on this map. What you want to do on this map usually is control the bottom lane, get a 4 as soon as possible, and then you move in. You set up shop, and you dominate the other team. Very
obvious, at least until level 4 when Hanzo can help with wave clear. This is heavily going to favor the Falstead Gul'dan in the 4-man rotation. They're going to keep that lane pushed out. Question is, how much response is going to come out on these Vikings? Will they be able to get a pick and help reduce some of the XP that's coming? There's already a slight, ever so slight XP lead, but you can see that they're starting to get advantage in lanes because Rexar's having to double soak so early.
Yeah, Rexar's double soaking. I mean, his wave clear has been improved with his changes a little bit, but he's having trouble keeping up with these Vikings. He's already missed 3 minions in the top lane. Now both teams getting the sapper camps out early, as you'd expect on a map like this.
Sapper's bottom lane, you mentioned, of course, the importance. Everyone wants to mention how important this bottom lane is. And the priority from both teams, they know it, and they're going to be here fighting throughout. So see which team can get advantage with sappers, but again, I think just having the Gul'dan and Falstead early game is going to be plenty of wave clear. I have no reason to believe these sappers are going to get in anytime soon here, Ghost.
Yeah, no, they're going to be able to clear them out. We get a kill on the Viking in mid. That's a huge deal because that allows Rexar to catch up in XP. Falstead now flying to grab the minions that the Vikings will miss with Olaf away. And interesting, they are keeping Eric down in the bottom. I see Vikings players have different ideas about how to handle the 3 Vikings, but they're making Eric part of the 4-man.
I mean, if it's me, I'm not keeping my Viking anywhere close to Leeming. There's no reason to. You're not providing anything to your team being there. You're not getting extra XP. You might as well be supporting up top, support Baylog against Rexar. Olaf's probably going to be fine by himself because he has enough HP to deal with it. But I'm not a huge fan of Eric being down here right now. We'll see if they change that as we go on.
Yeah. Now, so Top pointed out Murden slows down rotations, etc., but no one's doing any rotating. It is ARAM down in the bottom. Okay, I'm not going to fill that. I'm not going to get that an acronym out, but it is everybody just team fighting in the bottom lane.
They're going to fight over this point. Murden's going to drop pretty low early, and they're already done without a Viking, and here's the first reset, so extra damage from Nemesis. Dragon Queen had to come out, and I don't think this is enough healing here to get through this. It's very healthy right now for Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, the damage from Hanzo along with the front line of Johanna Dark Knight is keeping everybody at bay. All Alex Straza can do to heal everyone up, and there's no counter pressure coming out from Lurk Patrol.
Yep, so Decker Kane is going to grab it away. I thought 4 more shots sent over to the core of Lurk Patrol, giving Ginormous Jaegers this early 4-shot lead on the core. But really, you know, Towers of Doom, it makes no difference if you lose 1-2 or win 2-1 on that first one. You got plenty of time to make that one up.
Yeah, it's a very, very slight difference, but everyone in the bottom lane. Now the camp is up once more for Ginormous Jaegers. They're starting to fall a little bit behind in XP, though.
Yeah, again, I wonder maybe the Vikings just too good, too strong?
Well, normally with the Vikings, you'd expect to see a much bigger lead than this, and that kind of makes me worry about Lurk Patrol.
Well, they got a couple kills. There's another one on Olaf. I think his second time falling for the big boy, right?
Yeah, that was a minion kill, too. That's rough for the Vikings player. That was, I would say, an unforced error from the Vikings player.
And our first official you hate to see it moment of the game.
Absolutely. Lurk Patrol not able to grab their sapper camp. A lot of pressure coming out from Ginormous Jaegers. Li Ming waiting for another Viking to step up, seeing if he can get a big kill, but Nemesis instead just going to soak. They realize that they will lose the Battle of the 10 if they don't have enough soak, and allowing Rexar to grab the sapper camp up top.
Yeah, that's going to be another good pickup. The pressure up top, it's deceptive. You think it's bottom lane only, but, I mean, if you're getting down to the bottom lane and have to keep someone from the other team responding to sappers, that's going to benefit you during this objective phase. Just 5 seconds left. Rexar making his way down. Hanzo's still a little far, but it's Vikings on the other side, so it's essentially 4v4 right now.
Yeah, Murden pushing way up. Hanzo still a long way away. Decker takes a lot of damage. Gunny is just all over him. Now here comes the damage onto Murden, and in the back, Alex Strauss keeping everybody healthy. Murden has to back out. Gonna let that second one come through. He has to use Dwarf Toss to get out. Here comes the... was that... I thought I heard the dragon.
I heard a dragon.
It was interrupted. It went on a 8-second cooldown. An excellent stun. I'm not sure who landed it, but they interrupted the Alex Straza. Dragon Li Ming now grabbing bottom. Deckard pushing the Viking out, making sure they trade evenly. Now, before this started, Olaf actually tied again, but there's a lot of damage coming out onto the backline of Ginormous Jaegers. Everyone's very healthy on Lurk Patrol. They have to back off and clear out. And finally, thanks to that altar phase, everyone had to come down, clear XP advantage in favor of Lurk Patrol.
Yeah, actually not a fair trade. They got 2 there, Ginormous Jaegers, so they go up now by 12 core shots.
Oh, yeah.
They won the first objective 2-1. They won that one 2-0. So a 12-shot lead, and now that's pretty significant early in the game, getting all those.
Yeah, no, my apologies. I messed up on the altar there, but now Ginormous Jaegers really taking control of this game. And here goes Johanna, stoppable. Uses the Iron Skin to get out. But here come the Sappers for Lurk Patrol. They're able to grab them during that downtime.
All right, still in this bottom lane. Sappers are about to push into that wall. I don't think the defense is going to make it. No, 2 connect, 3 connect.
They can't clear him out fast enough. Oh, there's a huge orb on the Falstead. He maybe caught trying to rotate or think about where to travel to face Rexar. Got a Leeming orb to the face.
Altars, 20 seconds. Sappers are being picked up right now by Ginormous Jaegers, and we see a single altar down on the very bottom of the map. Great positioning so far, set up by Lurk Patrol. We'll see if they can hold off this invade attempt. Still with the Vikings, and they have now play again, so if they want to show up, they can warp here onto Eric, but for now, not here. Rexar still up top, babysitting Balog.
This would be a great place for a Lurk Patrol to come back. And there comes the Falstead Hinterlands blast. Completely whiffs, just not on anybody. They interrupt the Viking channeling on the altar. The Deckard Kane. There's a big fear onto Li Ming. Nemesis in trouble, but there's no follow-up, and instead it's Gul'dan who goes down.
Yeah, Nemesis is going to fall as well. Dark Knight could be next. Cleansing Flame's going to find a lot, actually. Going to try to hit Deckard Kane. Maybe would have thrown a couple at Johanna. Might have been closer, but either way, a great pick-off there by Harnock, finding some blood on the end of the play.
Yeah, there was no follow-up on the Li Ming at first. That's because everyone else was killing everyone else on Ginormous Jaegers' team. They spread out the damage, but fortunately, Alex Straza able to use Cleansing Flame to take home the kills. Rexar still up top.
Yeah, 2-2 right now on kills, but we look at the core health, and it's still an 8-shot lead after even getting that for Lurk Patrol. Behind so much early, and you have to find a couple objectives go in your favor in order to catch up. They got 1, but they still got to make another happen here.
Yeah, but between the Sapper camp and winning that fight and getting the altar, Lurk Patrol are starting to make a comeback. The bottom lane is now in their control. Only a little bit of structure damage in the bottom lane for Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, now they are first to level 13. Hopefully we got those talents up on the screen for you right now. Still a little bit to go until Gul'dan hits 16 when he's going to really power spike, but he's starting to do a lot more damage. If we look at some of the numbers, we see he's sitting really high in his team, about 20k, but on the other side, his Hanzo is so much more, and that's a dead Falstead thanks to him. Could be more, because Muradin's sitting about 10%. Gunny falling low, pops Avatar, survives for now, does get killed, and the double on Alex Straza, Hanzo, and Li Ming starting to show up, Ghost Dunk.
That's the reset. After reset, Bickle tried to get a little bit of kills there, but the Gul'dan damage too spread out, not enough, not happening. Li Ming, Nemesis threaded the needle with that orb, hits Falstead again in the face. I don't think Falstead was expecting the orb to get that far, but it happened.
Already up 8 shots, double altar face spawning, and 2 are dead right now for Lurk Patrol. Should set up nicely for an invade on this enemy side. We'll see if Johanna can get here in time with the shield glare. Should be able to, and does. So Olaf interrupted, an opportunity here for Ginormous Jaegers for the 2-cap.
There's Li Ming throwing another huge orb. Falstead is just eating orb after orb this game, but the Vikings get the channel off. Well, I think Ginormous Jaegers gave that on purpose, and now they're moving their way to bottom, trying to get their own sapper camp. It looks like these sappers might go in. I think Li Ming's going to make sure that they don't.
I mean, another thing, if I'm playing Vikings on this map, I'm definitely going Merc Lord, because those sappers are going to do 50% more damage each one that connects if you're in range. Here's another fight breaking out over the Sapper camp. Otta on the backside. Deckard Cain getting zoned out by Muradin, but it's a kill on the other side. Gul'dan down first, and there could be more here with this Lornado, Ghost Dunk.
Lornado trying to keep Gunny in to prevent the Dwarf Toss. The Dwarf Toss comes out. Gunny makes it out, but Gul'dan way out of position trying to get that Sapper camp.
Yeah, living on the edge of these Vikings. Ektar's still so close to Li Ming and another reset, but he's going to survive, make it back. And the camp went over to Lurk Patrol, right? Did they connect on the fort?
No, Lurk Patrol killed the... Oh, there's a kill on the Viking, but yeah, no, Lurk Patrol killed the camp before it even got out of lane. The Sappers that were coming there before did make it into the fort. I think they killed one, but at least a little bit of fort damage has been done. But thanks to those kill on Gul'dan, he's finally making his way back. Ginormous Jaegers not able to make any structure damage happen yet.
These teams are hugging it out all game. They're not afraid to throw abilities at each other. Still just 6 kills for Ginormous Jaegers, 2 for... Lurk Patrol, and we have our next triple altar phase. This is big money time. You don't want to lose anyone here, because if you lose all 3 altars, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to catch up late game. This is big right here, Ghost Dunk.
That's a big stun into the back line. Dark Knight is trying to get forward, but Johanna's just too low. Here's a Hinterland's Blast. Almost kills Dark Knight. Falstad escapes with just 30 health. The fear going on to Li Ming, but she makes it out of the teleport. Here comes the Cleansing Flame trying to finish off Ginormous Jaegers. Down goes Li Ming. Johanna is not going to follow. Deckard Cain gets the heal off. Rexar gets a channel, and Hanzo's still down here preventing them. Yeah, they're going to get 2.
Rexar is all alone up top on Olaf. Balog's nearby. Play again's available for Vikings too, and we're still fighting down here on the bottom. Hanzo getting a lot of damage with that one. Oh my god, but still alive. Alex tries to try to save her, but it's couldn't. Muradin finds a Hanzo. Gunny's going to be by himself, but a nice little pickoff there, and that might give them opportunity to get some bodies back in this fight and get this capture.
Yeah, this capture is huge for Lurk Patrol. Rexar actually decides to give up the top. Can he? Yeah, no, he stops it in time. Gunny has just been smorking all game, getting in everybody's face and just punching them. The Lurk Patrol does get off the bottom lane. Vikings finally kill Eric, and that was a great stall out by Ginormous Jaegers, but not in time. They only get 1 of the 3 towers. Lurk Patrol's on their way back.
Rexar is going to make it away too sturdy, too much peel from Misha. So let's slow it down now. Let's look up at our core health after that triple altar phase and what was once a 12-shot lead. Yeah, it was 12, right? Now we're down to just 4. It's a lot closer, and just like that, we got ourselves a game.
Yeah, that's Towers of Doom for you, down to 16-20. The Vikings have gotten a lot of XP, but Rexar playing excellently in the off lane as far as XP is concerned, have kept Ginormous Jaegers in this game experience-wise.
Yeah, just to count it home for you guys, it's 24K right now for the Las Vikings. Just shy of 18K for Rexar. Words are so hard sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you. Wow.
Johanna took a lot of damage. Used her Iron Skin just as a shield. And was able to walk back out of that. Lornado was popped as well as the Blessed Shield. Still a Horrify can really turn this around, and there it's
interrupted. Did it whiff or did it get interrupted?
I think it got interrupted.
It got used, but it just whiffed. I think it only hit 1 person there.
I was confused too. I was like, wait a minute.
Another
snipe on the back end of it? I'm sorry.
Thought he was safe behind there, but the leaning orb finds him. I think it was just the tail end of the orb explosion that caught him.
A little bit of a caster's curse, maybe. We're talking about his horrifying. A horrific ending for that life for Gul'dan. 10 seconds for the next altar to spawn, and this is a power play right now for the Jaegers, and they're taking advantage of it. Bottom lane, this fort's going down, and up top, Rexar is doing some damage up there too, so 2 taken in quick succession here with an altar spawning. We're looking at 7 shots right now.
Yeah, that fight was huge for Ginormous Jaegers. But Rexar's gonna go down.
Doesn't care.
Didn't go. Oh, they went Animal Husbandry. Stacks have been lost. 1600 is my producer's. Yes.
Oh.
Now Lurk.
All right.
The 4 points that they can, taking the boss off the board. There's a smart play. Falstad does not have Gust, however. It's not going to be sniffed out by Ginormous Jaegers, or if they know that it's happening, they don't care because they're trying to 6-cap him.
Oh, I mean, the 6 cap's a little more important than the 4 shots if they can get it, but without Rexar, a little spooky right now. They're hanging out. I mean, the minions are still here. Why isn't anyone responding from Lurk Patrol? They saw these guys here, and it's just going to quickly hand over mid-fort now to Ginormous Jaegers. Top's going to be taken back by Lurk Patrol, but it's just a little merry-go-round now, Ghost.
Yeah, I like this from Lurk Patrol, though. I like taking this fort back rather than the defending mid. Mid will get itself back. A lot of people don't know this, but if you leave the game alone, your minions will always take mid fort, regardless. Now, Vikings trying to stop these sappers from going in and adding more points onto the tour. But yeah, if you get the middle, if you go to fight the middle tower, there's no guarantee you stop them from taking it, and it's not as important if a tower is top. Here goes Dragons are coming down. Eric gets killed. Murden goes down. Play of the game is in effect. Alex Dresser just barely escapes with the cleansing flame coming out before she dies. Ogle goes down. Gul'dan damage winning the day. The Falstad Hinterlands blast doesn't kill anyone, but it does take back the fort for Lurk Patrol. So actually churning out 1v1. It was play of the game for a moment, but Hanzo ends up going down.
Did Alex live was the question. What a sick arrow. He just got 20 and just threw it out there. Leeming was in range for some reset damage. But here we go. Channel's coming. Only Vikings anywhere nearby. Rexar's got this. No, falls down with the flight. Gonna interrupt the first one. Barrel rolling out to safety. High def is here. Gul'dan, however, locked in a scroll of ceiling in trouble. Lornado whips. Not gonna pull Bickle back. He survives. And now Ginormous Jaegers starting up the channel again on the other side, interrupting a Viking. One channel goes through. They just need this second one. If Lehman can finish off Balog, that's it on the other side.
Oh, the fear only hits Misha, who tries to run. The Blessed Shield stops the re-engage. Everyone looking very low. Johanna taking a lot of damage from the Gul'dan. Now, all the Vikings are trying to stop Ginormous Jaegers from channeling this last tower. Ektar runs to the kill zone. Eric goes down. That's going to give Leeming a reset on the Vikings. Instead, she's just going to channel. Here comes the Dragon Arrow.
Oh,
Hanzo pops out, and Ogle is back, and that's game.
GG. So let's go over to Satat. What happened in the game, like midway through, that just completely turned it around? Because it seemed like Lurk Patrol was starting to come back, and then Ginormous Jaegers just put the kibosh on it.
Yeah, if you look, the bottom fight that kind of started it all, where they turned on him, Deckard landed a emerald that negated all the healing on Murden and himself, or herself, and just totally annihilated from there, and Liming got the resets and just set off on it. And that's a big thing. And you also hit 16 with Hanzo. That piercing arrow just does so much work on their team, and it was just definitely noticeable when you saw Hanzo just piercing through. And kudos to Rexar for staying up with Vikings and Soak. Vikings was kind of not totally keeping control of his Vikings, so they ended up dying a lot in different spots, and they lost experience in those, and that was a big issue. And when you take a comp like what Lurk Patrol did, you want to have a strong foreman that you can push with. And them, it was really weird because they banned Jaina and took Gul'dan, where Jaina would have been a perfect pick to be able to shove into the bottom shrine and take control of that. Because that's what you want to do. You want to take that bottom keep and then hold it when you have Vikings like that. And they weren't able to even take the bottom keep at all. They got some pressure, but they weren't able to take it. And that was a big difference in this game.
Yeah, I saw a lot of scatter arrow damage coming out from Hanzo. That was absolutely brutal. And yeah, leave it to Odd Thought on the Deckard Cain recognizing that Emerald was the pick and using it at the right time.
Yeah, it was really good, and he got a lot of value. With that, he got a lot of value with his potions too. A few clutch saves on Dark Knight, who's falling low on Johanna, who ended the game with 0 deaths. Always good when your tank doesn't die. And ultimately, maybe just Johanna's play alone kind of understated here on Towers of Doom.
Yeah, the Gul'dan did surprise me. The fear could have been huge, but I think there were a couple times late game. I think it just hit one target and it didn't send them in a very favorable direction. The one time it just landed on Misha, although to be fair, at that point in the game, it felt like Lurk Patrol were kind of in panic mode.
Absolutely. So I think we're setting up our next map right now. Not sure if we're going to a break or not, if we hear from production, but we'll hang here. So we can just stay and chat about the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I am interested to see what map we are going to next, but
Looks like
think-
Lurk Patrol is going for hero pick. We're gonna see what Ginormous Jaegers wants to bring us to.
Yeah, Lurk Patrol had hero pick, and Ginormous Jaegers are taking us to Battlefield of Eternity. Now, seeing their last draft, Satat, what do you want to see from Lurk Patrol that might play more into their strengths?
I think that they took Falstead. I think Falstead was a great pick on that map, and Falstead can be a really good pick, a surprising pick on BOE. But I think you have to go Gust, and I think Gust there would have saved them a lot. When Deckard lands a route like that, you just Gust the team out and you reset and you get a fight you want. And I think that was a mistake taking Hinterlands there. So they could take Falstead here with maybe a Gust if they're looking for a comp that's kind of poking and wants to engage, and then disengage when they have the choice to. And it's really useful to do that, especially when you have something like Alex Strasser where she can take off and get away. But, Gul'dan himself just couldn't do anything, so he got trapped a lot. So I would like to see a Falstead. Gul'dan on this is not a good map, but maybe that Jaina they banned, maybe they can pick that. And that would be really cool to see from Lurk Patrol.
Yeah, I think Jaina is very highly rated now in the meta in general. So Jaina would be a nice pick, although she can be rough on race. She doesn't, she's not the best racer in the world on Battlefield of Eternity, but you don't always need that 100% from every hero.
Yeah, I think more traditionally BOE, we see a lot of Li Ming players. We see, of course, the Hanzo is sort of like a pseudo mage with how much damage he can put out from afar, but not as much Jaina, not as much Gul'dan. So yeah, I'm curious to see if they want to make that focus, or maybe we switch the game over. We see a lot more sustained auto attackers. We get a Grey main out here. I haven't seen too much Vala, but I've been seeing a bit more Tess for some reason. So I don't think anything's really out of the question in terms of your traditional racers on BOE.
Mm-hmm. I would like not to see a Vala, please.
Please.
Yeah, she is not
She's
good
too
hero.
vanilla for you?
No, I don't think she's a good hero right now. At least, maybe you can run her as a hyper carry if you've got a lights out Vala on your team, but just don't.
Yeah, after seeing the Hanzo play last game from Ginormous, if I was Lurk Patrol, I'd be banning Hanzo either 1 or 2 pick on that for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's. So we talked game 1 about how meta the first bans were. Just to recap: Zeratul, Anub, Ana, and Diablo, 4 heroes that are very high in the meta. Is it worth it kind of shifting from that strategy and moving towards targeted bans in game 2?
I mean, like Satat said, the Hanzo was fantastic, really rough to go into, but I don't think anything in specific was oppressive. The Hanzo was dangerous, and obviously Ogle is pretty good at that hero. Really solid Hanzo. Did excellent work. But I don't know if it's necessarily ban worthy. It's just really good on this map. So if you're not taking it here, I'd say you could ban that out. Other than that, I don't see any target bans coming.
Okay, well, you heard it there from Ghost Dunk. Outside of that, I mean, it's BOE. We got Ginormous Jaegers up 1-0 in the set. They win here. They go home with a domination and the 3 points. Mm-hmm. And it looks like we're counting into our draft. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Battlefield of Eternity.
I want to see Lurk Patrol come out fighting on this one. This is a big game for them. At least being able to tie it up, and even if you lose the next game, a 2-1 and denying that domination from your opponent is going to help you out this season.
Well, I haven't had opportunity to deny an opponent of mine a domination because I don't play. But if I were these guys, I'd be ready to roll because you can't sit down. No. You can't roll over right now. You want to win on Battlefield, and you want to bring us to game 3. So they're going to start it off with their bans, and once again, they're looking at a noob.
Yeah, and I'd like to see more. I'd like to see Gunny keep up his aggressive play style. I think that actually really helped them. That was a really bright spot for them in the team fights with just Murden smorking all over them. It doesn't have to be Murden, but I do appreciate Gunny willing to get in their face.
Yeah, he was very aggressive on it. I was actually shocked we didn't see the Haymaker for how aggressive he was. He did have the Avatar. And you know, it's first pick again for Lurk Patrol. Is it going to be another early Murden? We just don't know yet.
Yeah, the Murden doesn't surprise me quite as much as first pick Muradin does.
I agree. So far, same bands. We got that. So this might be Diablo ?
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Yes, there it is. Yeah, it's. I don't know if anyone on Lurk Patrol actually plays Maiever Medivh, but those are two powerful heroes. And going.
You want the amateur opponent?
I don't now see Artanis. First pick Artanis. Like if you want race, pick Hanzo. Just pick Hanzo, and then you can
give up Hanzo now. This is 100% Hanzo pick.
Oh,
I
believe
even have to look at it. Johanna Hanzo.
Johanzo? No, it's the same Johanna Rexar.
This is the same draft they've done so far. The
Yeah,
Johanna Rexar was the first two last one, right?
Yeah, it was.
I'm shocked they didn't want to get the Hanzo there. Why?
I don't know. No, they're not going to take Rexar.
I'm at a loss.
Artanis, like what? I don't know why you took the Rexar so early. Like you could save that for last pick.
Yeah, I think it's a miss. But we'll find out. There is the Muradin again for Gunny, and Ektar going to be playing some Malfurion in this one.
Yeah, Ektar.
Ektar was our Vikings player last game.
Yes, that is correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think Bickle was no. Who was the Alex Foster? Was it Hardock? Yeah, Hardock now playing Bruiser instead of support, so a bit of a role swap for Lurk Patrol.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen a lot of. Speaking of Vala, there's a Vala fan.
There's a Vala.
But I've seen a lot of teams, especially Division C, that they don't have set roles. The teams just want to play the heroes they're comfortable on, and I don't blame a team for wanting to play that way. Just have fun, enjoy yourself in NGS, and if it's Artanis you want to play Hard Knock, play Artanis to your heart's desire.
Yeah, no, I'm getting a note from our producer now that last game was indeed the role swap for Lurk Patrol rather than this game. So I think it's probably a Viking special. It's like Ektar plays Vikings. Well, let's swap out for Vikings.
So all that talk about Hanzo, all that
smart.
talk, and maybe they heard us.
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo banned out, and again, I'm just gonna say, I think Ginormous Jaegers made a ginormous mistake not taking it, so they're gonna go back to their Leeming.
They're leaning.
And the Deckard. They just want the same heroes.
And they're Deckard. The exact same draft, keeping with what works. Li Ming, not a slouch in race herself.
Yeah, well, really what they're going to get is that constant poke, and they just have to keep the Johanna Rexar in front of Li Ming's face, and she can throw free orbs at the Immortal all day safely. Going back to Falstead is high def, and Bickle picking up my favorite main. It's Gray Main.
The grayest of mains. Falstead, though, being taken by Lurk Patrol. Let's see if they were paying attention. Maybe they had the cast on during the break.
Ogle the Great, final pick here. It is gonna be Genji.
All right, well, if we can't kill the Immortal, we're gonna kill the other team.
Satat coming to us again from Celeb Gaming. What do you think about these drafts?
I had deja vu for the first part of that, but I think so. Johanna secretly, and I don't want to spoil this, Johanna secretly is the best tank that doesn't get banned right now. And it's a constant pick for us, and it's just really strong. So picking Johanna's really strong. Rexar against Artanis is going to be interesting because Artanis can win that matchup if he plays it correctly. So I'll be interesting to see if Harnock can play Artanis enough to get into Rexar's head and get to him. I do like the Falstead pick because then you have that quick rotation up on Rexar to rotate in. Malfurion is also really strong into this. The big key is not making sure that when Greymane goes in, he's timing his engages so he just doesn't get blown up by Li Ming and Genji. And if they can do that, I think Lurk Patrol can pull this one out because they just have their comp is a little bit better with what they have. So we'll see. I give this draft to Lurk Patrol.
All right, thank you so much, Satat, for the expert analysis on the draft. But into the game we go. We're gonna announce our teams. On the left, in the blue, on the side of heaven, is Lurk Patrol with Bickle playing the Greymane. Artanis, played by Harnock. Gunny on the Muradin. Ektar playing Malfurion in high def on Falstead.
And over on the right in red on the side of hell, We got Nemesis once again on Li Ming, Ogle the Great playing the Genji, Dark Knight on Johanna for the second time, Odd Thought playing his Deckard Cain for the second time, and Gambit playing Rexar for the second time. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ginormous Jaegers.
All right. Into the game we go. And, you know, the lane analysis, I really like it from Satat. My experience on Battlefield of Eternity is that laning in the top lane doesn't matter quite as much as something like Towers of Doom or Dragonshire, where you have to, you know, like that fight matters a lot more. On Battlefield of Eternity, you can kind of just AFK, I think.
And the jungle's so big that making a rotation costs you so much time, and time is a resource making those rotations. It definitely is. So you don't see it too often. Of course, you got a Zeratul on your team or something like a Genji. We might even see Ogle make the rotation up, but it's too long for most heroes to get up there. So it ends up being the most babysitting lane in the entire game if you think about it.
Oh, Dark Knight getting rooted, but uses Iron Skin to get out. A lot of fury over nothing, although Ginormous Jaegers winning the wave clear race, and Li Ming getting free poke. Nemesis just sitting in this bottom area. No one's guarding the orbs, just getting shot after shot in that tower.
Yeah, Nemesis is free. Sidewall down. I mean, they could even start trying to poke out that well if they want to be really sneaky, but it's just free. There's still no one's in Nemesis's face. This is a problem. Murden's got to get up there. Gunny did such a good job in game 1 of getting in these squishy spaces. He's got to make an adjustment change on that keep wall because it took way too much damage. We're not even 2 minutes in yet.
Yeah, Artana's getting beat up by Misha. Misha's swapped into towers. Gambit backs off. Oddthought started this camp. Finally, Lurk Patrol sniffs it out. Gunny looking in great danger. Aggo the Great almost gets the kill on Murden, but he dwarf tosses out and they're fine. However, Ginormous Jaegers will be taking these Khazra, but Dark Knight could be in trouble. There's the Iron Skin thrown up. Dark Knight goes down. Johanna, first blood.
Old Tom Brady missed a throw there. Odd Thought didn't connect on the potion, and Johanna just barely died there. I think maybe if she got a couple, she made it back behind the wall, but didn't. So first blood handed over to Lurk Patrol. We're pretty close to hearing about the objective. So teams are heading over to the Bruiser, and there we go, 30 seconds for the first Immortal.
Yeah, Johanna goes Laws of Hope at level 1. I think if she goes Hold Your Ground at level 1 instead, she survives there. It's a trade-off between long-term sustain, but with a Deckard, you don't really need that. So I already disagree with the Johanna level 1 talent.
Ooh, spicy. You know, I play a lot of Johanna, and, you know, I actually prefer Laws of Hope, but I get what you're saying.
Fair enough.
You get a much more direct benefit when you just can pop that D more often, so I agree. Here we go, though. First Immortal phase, and off to the early start. Looks like it's going to be Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, Misha trying to hold the point, trying to keep her turret safe. Gambit is going to have to back up. Gambit's out of mana. But Lurk Patrol not winning that race. They weren't able to start on it as quick. Oh, no, they are winning the race. I can't read numbers. And they're, 3,000 damage ahead, and they're going to be able to get this. The kills are not coming in for Ginormous Jaegers. But, the first objective doesn't really matter quite as much. Genji trying to whittle down as much shield as possible. Johanna in their face trying to keep them as busy as possible, maybe getting some blinds out. There's another one, but the Immortal goes over to Lurk Patrol.
Yeah, ultimately you can see how much that death onto Misha cost them. She was trying to play defense so valiantly fell, and then there really was nothing left in the tank from that point, and easy money for Lurk Patrol, grabbing the first Immortal of the game. He's got about a 50% shield headed to the top lane. Still down bottom, Artanis versus Rexar, so the rest of these team members, they're here ready to roll.
Yeah, ready to roll, pushing with the Immortal, and I agree with you, literally nothing left in the tank, by the way. The Immortal is going to get the wall. I don't even know if this Immortal gets fort. A lot of really good defense. Li Ming throwing out all those magic spells in the Immortal. Excellent defender, as well as Genji, who can just attack the Immortal and jump out of danger if he gets in trouble.
Dark Knight being a bit of a pest there, zoning everyone out from trying to join up with the Immortal onto this fort damage, and ultimately, the fort's going to survive, and I'd mark that up as a solid defense for Ginormous Jaegers.
It's a solid defense. Anywhere in between, when you get the first objective, you can be anywhere in between, not like just getting the wall and getting the entire fort and maybe a little bit of keep wall. But here's a big fight over the Khazar camp at top. I think Ginormous Jaegers maybe just trying to get some kills on the board. I don't know that either team actually cares about this camp. They just want to fight.
Yeah, great spot for Deckard Cain. His next scroll is ceiling. If it can lock these guys in, here it comes. Might be kills. Malfurion's the one who's caught out, but the damage isn't here. Leeming's in a big clump again on Falstead. But yeah, Leeming's in this spot where she's trying to throw the damage out and having to rely on Genji. Ogle, if you can do that, that's going to be easy for Leeming. 1 kill, not going to be more. Trading out with the Genji himself.
Genji dives out. If they hadn't have gotten that Genji kill, Ektar would be so mad at himself for putting the root down in the wrong place.
I mean, he's a ninja, dude. What do you expect?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's very difficult to understand that, but Genji going in hardcore against Falstad. It's a bit of a deja vu with Falstad having eat Li Ming orbs once again.
Yeah, more scrolls sealing heroes to the ground. This time on the other side is Malfurion sealing with those roots. Gunny's trying to keep him here. Did we go into the Skullcracker in this matchup? I didn't see what Murden picked. He did. So this should be interesting now. I think it's going to help a lot, especially on that Misha. He's not going to be able to run away as easily.
Aglo the Great playing the other Hanzo brother this game. Almost goes down there, but uses Protected, by the way. The Hanzo brother, the other Shimada brother, excuse me. But Artanis will be starting on the Immortal with an amateur opponent. They'll get a lot of damage on along with Greymane. Artanis, Greymane, 2 of the best non-Hanzo racers in the game.
Yeah, we got to talk about Greymane. Wizened Duelist at level 7.
Ooh. 4 stacks already.
Yeah, maybe a risky pick or what? I mean, if he
it's always
falls,
a risky pick.
Yeah, if he falls, that could hurt a lot.
Yeah, but bad spawn for Lurk Patrol. They want to race, but the Immortal is on the other side of the map. They use this time simply to grab their camp. Misha will do the same along with Li Ming. Now Johannes just checking out the scenery. Dark Knight mounts up. No dismount. They don't know where the rest of Ginormous Jaegers are, but Lurk Patrol is here as 5. They're moving in. They want to get started on this Immortal.
Yeah, neither team at level 10 yet, so our last fight before Heroics are here. Genji trying to assault Falstead again as Ogle, and is going to threaten him all the way back, but we're about to have this re-engagement happen with this big swap by Artanis, and Johanna is gone just like, no?
40 hit points of health, escaped with just a sliver of HP. Dark Knight survives. They don't get the kill, but I think this will allow Lurk Patrol to push onto the Immortal, at least poke it out and get it for themselves. Oh, there's a lot of damage though coming onto Lurk Patrol with the Li Ming orb. Genji comes in to finish off the kill. Li Ming gets it, but Aglo the Great now chasing down the rest of Lurk Patrol. Those Li Ming snipes from Nemesis are proven to be the secret weapon for Ginormous Jaegers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, killing it. Now at level 10, we see X-Strike, Wave of Force, Bless Shield, Lordnado, and I think those, that's the Bestial Wrath. Don't get to say that one often. And on the other side, Twilight Dream. I'm looking for some plays right now on Malfurion. Shut down this Genji.
Yeah, Ektar is up. Here comes Avatar, and there is the Twilight Dream. There's the Hinterlands Blast to follow, but it's Murden who goes down. Everybody is looking very low. Artanis Laser is going to finish off somebody. Sorry, Misha.
Misha. Well, that means Rexar's got to back out. Lurk Patrol back on the Immortal, and they're going to pick up their second objective of the game. This is starting to look good for LP.
Yeah, LP gets the Immortal, though Ginormous Jaegers got the shield down quite a bit. They weren't able to maintain presence on top of their Immortal long enough to win it. Genji almost went down there, but no kills, fortunately, for the side of Ginormous Jaegers, as the Immortal tries on this fort once again. Meanwhile, this fort's gone because the camp that Lurk Patrol got during that pause pushed all the way through and got it.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of damage for the bottom lane, because the first objective, you remember, guys, it was up here in the top lane as well, and we hadn't seen any sieging from heroes in the bottom lane, so a lot of value from a camp, and played to perfection. It's going to give them opportunity to look at a keep in the top lane, and the wall's falling quickly with this Immortal still with about 30-40% health. Might get a few bits of HP damage onto this keep, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to fall here.
Yeah, the defense is out there, not able to get the damage on the players as much as they'd like, but they back out, they get the keep wall, and that's all that they're going to get for now. That shielding that Ginormous Jaegers are able to get is the difference, I think, there between a keep wall and a keep.
Yeah, and a quick rotation back by Lurk Patrol, grabbing a Khazra camp in the top lane. Really don't need to look for too much yet. Just catch up on XP. You got a nice little lead. These catapults are going to start doing work for you, especially during the burn phases. Just a little bit of patience, and I think that's exactly what Lurk Patrol's trying to do right here, and I definitely think it's the right way to go about it.
Misha keeping her Rexar handler safe, but Lurk Patrol will start the Khazra camp. Misha has to back off as teams are going to trade out pressure. I think pretty even. I don't know if Ginormous Jaeger gets a fort here. It is just Falstead, and the Falstead without Gus.
Yeah, we did see him connect on a Hinterland's Blast, and they're going to connect on a Misha kill, too, in the bottom lane. His Hinterland Blast, it hit in that last fight. I think it reduced the cooldown all the way down to about 70 seconds or so from 120. Still maybe something flashy in there for Falstead to pull out.
It's possible.
If we see a double reset Hinterland's Blast, like, we just shut up and we say you did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, high risk, high reward, maybe is how I'll put it.
Extra body with the Misha, too. Just to throw it out there.
Very true. But Ginormous Jaegers backs, they realized the trade was not in their favor. They don't want to trade out a fort for a keep. Lurk Patrol gets another keep wall. And so that's going to be an Immortal pushing on an open keep no matter how you look at it. If they win, of course.
And this is offensive positions for these teams, so
yeah, really good.
Getting the early jump. They're going to push halftime in no time.
Yep.
And that's about a 900 HP lead heading into the second half.
Yeah, Nemesis thinks about starting the camp. The camp damages her. Instead, she backs off, but the defense is here for Ginormous Jaegers as Lurk Patrol tries to get the Immortal. They're just positioning, trying to find a way in through this choke point. This could be rough for them to get through.
Yeah, so I did caster math. I said 900. It's actually 9,000 as we see the fight breaking loose. Misha in trouble, but Lord Nado's good. Going to split them up. There's going to be a big reset on Hinterland. Reduced it to 20 seconds. Hit 4 heroes. So High Def moving forward. The rest of his squad, it's a 1-for-1 so far. Leaming down. That's a lot of damage missing from Ginormous Jaegers. And only 8 seconds for another Hinterlands here.
Yeah, 8 seconds remaining on the Hinterlands. They're pushing on. Oddthought takes a ton of damage. Deckard Cain goes down. Dark Knight is trying to stop Genji from going down, but there's another Hinterlands blast. Finishes off another hero. 4 kills for
Goes golf claps. We owe him a golf clap.
Beautiful. There's the Hinterlands blast coming through, getting the damage. I will say that Hinterlands blast has hit a lot more targets this game than last.
No, I clearly said if you can pull up a double reset, we'll count that, okay? It was close enough. Got it all the way down to 20 seconds. Well played. And now with an Immortal top lane, keep down bottom lane, it could be 2 keeps or it could be core here, Ghost.
Oh, it's going to be 2 keeps. The question is, will it be core? 16 around the corner. Keeps no longer give instant experience, so it's going to be a long ways to 16. I don't know if Lurk Patrol will hit 16 before the core push. There's a big stun. And the swap onto a rooted target. Artanis just pulled forward. Dark Knight, though, taking a lot of damage. Johanna goes down. Focus the tank, boys.
Looking for more on the bear, and both the tanks are down now. It's just a little Rexar. He's not nearly enough of a hero without his companion. So moving on to the core, we got Lurk Patrol ready to send us to game number 3 if they can close it out here.
Genji X strikes into the enemy team. The Johanna kill was enough, but the Genji kill will seal the deal. We're going to game 3, Murda.
It wouldn't be Thursday night without it, Ghost. What a Battlefield of Eternia was. Complete slaughter fest.
That is what we want to see on the Thursday night showdown. A showdown. Going to game 3, these teams looking to see who's going to rise and who will fall in the early season. All important. But yeah, now that we're going to show you the stats and talents here at the end. But as we do, let's bring in our experts to talk. What do you make of that match?
I'm 2 for 2 for calling teams there, so feeling pretty good about that. Hinterlands actually played off. They were able to line it up, and he got value out of it. So, hey, who am I to say what works and what doesn't? That was really impressive. The only thing, so here, the the downside of what Ginormous did is they took a reset with Genji, Li Ming, and they didn't have any way to counter the blow up of Lurk Patrol. Like Deckard is not good into blow up comps because he can't save someone. He doesn't have the ability. Those potions just aren't enough to keep someone alive. So it's not a healer you want to take into a blow up comp, or maybe as like a Tyrande or something. Might have been a little stronger there for Ginormous Jaegers because it was still available. So kudos to Lurk Patrol. They've used their burn really well. Artanis, Greymane, two of the best burns in the game, if not the best. So having that, Greymane for taking that Wizened Duelist and actually stacking it up pretty well by the end there. He was getting some crazy value. It was impressive. It was impressive seeing Lurk Patrol come out and just make a statement that they're not going to go down without a fight, and they just took the kills to him. So I expect to see more of them just taking these heavy dive, blow somebody up comps because it worked out extremely well for him and put the pressure on Ginormous Jaegers.
So here's what I want to talk about, if you don't mind, Ghost. I want to talk about Lurk Patrol Game 1 with the role swap versus Lurk Patrol 2 on their roles. Which team do we like better?
I mean, obviously the team that won is what I'm going to say. I think the Vikings was a little rough. I agree with Satat that they didn't have quite the foreman that they wanted in that game. So I think it was a rough composition for them to deal with. And like I said, I think Ginormous Jaegers just won that draft. And I like them going with the blow up comp. Maybe they were listening to the cast because I said they got to bring it out. They got to come right at them. You got to get Gunny up in the mix, smorking it as hard as you can on the Murden. As I do have a question for Satat. What do you think about trying to take the Anubarak rather than ban it?
I think it would work really well. So if you're talking about Lurk Patrol, correct?
Yes.
Taking Anubarak? Yeah. And I think Anubarak is a stronger tank than Murden is right now and does the exact same thing that Murden does, but better. So you could take him. I do like, though, how he took, if you look at his 4, he took Sledgehammer. Yeah. So it'd be he probably got quite a bit of burn because that can get upwards of 2,000 damage, 3,000 damage hitting the Immortal. So you can get some good burn with that. But they didn't need it with the Greymane Artanis, but it was a cool thing to use.
Yeah, Sledgehammer, that's a classic NGS.
And also, you briefly touched on it. Shout out to Bickle. Played a hell of a Greymane there in game 2. Was able to stack up that Wizened Duelist and didn't die. That's all you can ask for when you're taking that talent. So kudos to him leading his team with 4 kills and top hero damage. And ultimately sending us to game number 3 thanks to his performance there.
Yeah, and speaking of game number 3, Ginormous Jaegers has chosen first hero pick. So Lurk Patrol is taking us to Infernal Shrines, so double Diablo tonight.
We're not leaving hell anytime soon, huh?
Nope. What is hell called? Is it called hell in Diablo? Okay, there's not like a... Okay. The Burning Hells. I knew there was a fancier name than just hell for the Diablo game. I mean, that's a game where literally everything has got a fancy name.
Wait, you don't have a phone?
I'm not looking stuff up in the middle of the cast time, man.
It's a Diablo meme. I'm sorry.
I'm going to make my producer look it up and talk to me in my ears so I sound smart.
I wish you guys could hear Ace. Can they hear you, by the way, Ace? I don't think. Okay.
Yeah, they can't hear him at all. And yeah, I somehow missed a meme, and I don't know how that happened.
You went to BlizzCon.
I know I went to. I didn't. I wasn't there for that.
What?
I wasn't in the room for that.
I was watching on the TV. I wasn't in the room either. Oh wait, what? That was it was during their I watched the
deep dive.
That's right, the deep dive. I watched the replay of it. But yeah, what a flop. I'm sorry, Blizz. You can do better than that.
Or can they?
You have phones, yes.
Or can they? Anyways, we're loading up into Infernal Shrines.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I'd like to see a bit more of the same from Lurk Patrol. Now, I know a lot of teams like running Gul'dan on this map for the shrine clear. I'll do a little pre-draft discussion with Satat. What do you think of the Gul'dan on this map?
I think Gul'dan can be strong. It actually mostly depends on what the enemy team is doing. But you can definitely take Gul'dan here because of the shrine clear and the ability to put out damage while he's clearing the shrine. KT also is really strong on this map, especially at like a Division C level where people are grouping up more. They're not as coordinated. Sometimes not calling these guys not coordinated, but you can sometimes get more value out of KT than you would at a higher level on this map because bomb spread is just crazy. So KT is actually a high priority pick for teams on this map because of that ability of people grouping up and stuff. So I would expect just KT or Gul'dan to go pretty quickly or be banned. Hanzo, though, remember, Hanzo is really strong, and knowing how good Hanzo was in the first map, I was surprised, like you guys were last one, to not see Hanzo picked up in the 1-2.
Yeah.
Like Joe Hanzo would have been perfect, but they really like that Rexar, and Rexar's decent on this map too. But I think Hanzo, he's got to be picked up early on because of the explosion.
Yeah, especially once he hits level 16. The piercing arrow is so good. Ghost, you have a point to get to before I move on to another one?
Oh, yeah, no, I was just saying the Rexar early pick kind of surprises me. They're not going to ban it out. The Rexar is not what's causing is not really causing Lurk Patrol any pain. I think with any other offlaner, Ginormous Jaegers would have won Towers of Doom. So I don't think Rexar is really causing him, I don't understand the priority of it.
How about game one? Lurk Patrol had the Alex Straza up against this Deckard Cain. We've seen them trying to ban out the Ana tonight to prevent the grenade. But they had the Deckard Cain game one up against the Alex Straza. But we're moving to a map that's Alex Straza's best map, in my opinion. Do we see Lurk Patrol maybe try to move back to that? And if so, do they put Harnock back on that? And even more so, do they have to figure out a way to ban Deckard?
I don't know that you need to ban Deckard. I think you maybe just wait for Ginormous Jaegers to pick their support. And if it's Deckard, I mean, if their two drafts are anything to show, they just like picking the exact same characters every single game. So maybe you do expect the Deckard Cain and don't bother with the Alex Straza. You could try and start target banning. Now that the Ginormous Jaegers have shown they are playing the exact same characters 2 drafts in a row, maybe you start banning them out just to throw them off. Just as a big, F you.
I mean, we haven't seen a Zeratul or a Noob because they've been banned.
Right.
But maybe they have more information that Ginormous Jaegers have been running Zeratul and a Noob the past couple of weeks. I mean, this is a team that's been winning games in Division C West. My producer's in my ear saying, yes. So it's some scouting, it's some target banning, and I assume they want to stick to their strategy.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that first 2 bans are going to be the same. If Ginormous Jaegers has been doing a lot of damage with Zeratul in the season so far, so it's still a strong ban. Noob, still a strong ban, regardless of what team you're against. That 3rd ban, though, I think you can start doing stuff like banning Deckard, banning banning a lot of other heroes. But first pick now belongs to Ginormous Jaegers, so they may switch up what they're doing.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Alex Straza because of there's so much value in the point on this one. So if you use Alex Straza's thing to grab the point, you get more value than like on towers, where Alex Straza just gets you 4 shots. So that could be something they do.
That's my analysis too. I agree.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind potentially seeing some of those bans coming out for the Alex Straza. Why the Ana? We haven't seen the Ana. Maybe we are missing some more information here too.
Oh, Ana's just busted right now.
I know she's busted right now, but we're talking about game 3. We're not talking about game 1.
I mean, you could try to first pick Ana. I think that plenty of heroes have been left on the table in this draft that, other than Ana, there are lots of really strong meta heroes that Ginormous Jaegers can first pick if that's how they want to play the draft.
So we'll be interesting here. Still waiting for our second ban. Ginormous Jaegers on the clock with 3 seconds. It's been Ana. It's been Diablo. This time Artanis. They are going to switch it up.
Is that a respect ban? Because I don't see why otherwise.
I mean, it's not an immortal race.
Yeah, it's got to be. There were some pretty sweet swaps from Lurk Patrol on the Artanis that isolated their tank. And, I mean, Johanna's can be pretty beefy, but once she's out of place, good night.
So this is potentially our Muradin pick for Gunny that we've seen so often tonight in the first slot for them. Actually, sorry, we have Ginormous Jaegers with the single pick. They get Diablo, but now on the other side.
Oh, that's why.
Are we seeing Muradin again? Maybe slightly better map?
It's possible.
Because of re-engagement potential?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also a comfort pick. I think Gunny is just like, I'm Muradin, that's my boy, and you're just going to go with it. Diablo picked up instead of the Johanna, so Ginormous Jaegers already going a different direction. The Artanis probably an off ban as well as a respect ban, since they can grab the Diablo first. And as Sonya immediately picked up a little bit surprising you take Sonya so early in the draft, because now Ginormous Jaegers, they just want to take CC.
Well, I mean, Wrath of the Berserker, it's going to get value on a map like Infernal Shrines, but Sonya hasn't really been in the front of a lot of teams' minds this season. Of course, a few are still playing it. I've actually seen a lot more Leap because of how prevalent the CC chains have been. But Wrath certainly has a place here on Infernal Shrines, and I guess that's just what they're gunning for. On the other side, speaking of guns, we got Deckard Payne for the third time in a row from Odd Thought.
Yeah, Deckard, Kane, Jaina, Diablo. You get the root into APOC, into Ring. Usually the root is the initiation there, but after that happens, so we've already got the makings of a Wombo. You don't even have to go APOC. You can just do Lightning Breath on top of that Frozen Ring. The Sonya still surprises me. Hanzo ban, smart, I think, especially if they don't have a Hanzo player themselves. The Sonya still surprises me, knowing that Ginormous Jaegers is always playing this Rexar, and Rexar will just shut Sonya down. Sonya wants to spin.
So we're about to find out if they're feeling risky with an Alex Straza into this Deckard Cain, because if it's going to be picked, it's probably going to be in one of these two. I don't see them saving it for last, because they're just going to give up too much information about what your assassins are going to be. So I'd expect Alex or some other support, maybe back on the Malfurion for Ektar, which was pretty good in game 2.
Yeah, I could see that, but instead they go for Whitemane. Okay, they want to be able to save themselves in that Wombo. Scarlet Aegis. I don't know how good the Whitemane is anymore, even going into like the Jaina Diablo Wombo, but the Kael'thas picked up, as Satat said, very popular pick on this map, and I could see a Leap Sonya here. If you get that CC chain along with some massive damage onto Jaina or Deckard or anyone else that's squishy, like Satat said last game, Deckard has trouble saving people. And here's an Imperious Rainer. Completely different draft for Ginormous Jaegers, except for Deckard.
Yeah, Imperious now, I think, instantly wins that bottom lane. If he can connect spears while Sonya is whirlwinding, it'll really negate a lot of her self-sustain in the matchup. And Rainer is going to be really good. A lot of slows. Look who the mage is. It's Jaina. So ace in the hole. Tons of value ready to go here for Ogle.
Okay, going with the Cassia for the Rainer blinds. Not a whole lot of synergy with the rest of the team as far as blinds go, but Cass I still like. I personally would go Valkyrie here. You pull somebody in, Murden, Sonya, Kael'thas damage on them off the Valkyrie target. But going into the draft, let's get the expert opinion from Satat. Satat, what do you think of these two drafts?
So these are actually pretty. Both of these drafts are interesting, and I like both of them. The only pick that kind of surprised me was the Cassie at the end. Cassie doesn't really. I mean, she kind of shuts down Rainer, but Cassie struggles into like hard CC, and you have Deckard who roots, you have Imperious that lifts, you have Diablo that charges. So I think Cassie is going to struggle. Whitemane also struggles into that. So if Ginormous Jaegers can dive the Whitemane and kill her, you're going to see Ginormous Jaegers take it ahead, and they're going to be able to, I think, win this one with the draft. But if the bombs can spread, I think Lurk Patrol win. But I will give this draft over to Ginormous Jaegers.
Ooh, you heard it from our expert. Thank you for stopping in all night, Satat. We're going to hear more from you after this game. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 is here, and on the left-hand side in the blue, we got Lurk Patrol, High Def playing the Sonya, Ektar on Whitemane, Hard Knock sporting the Kael'thas, Gunny for the third time on Muradin, and here's Bickle bringing out Cassia once again. They are Lurk Patrol.
And on the left of the red, on the side of hell, we've got Ginormous Jaegers with Ogle the Great playing the Jaina, Nemesis on Rainer, Odd Thought on the Deckard Payne, Dark Knight on the Diablo, and up top we've got Gambit on Imperious.
I'm fairly certain Deckard Payne is the most ripped hero in the game. Absolute unit.
Oh, yeah. Just look at this. Look at this unit. Look at this absolute lad on the saw.
All right, little mid-exchange. It's going to favor Kael'thas early, I think. Jaina's got to use a bit more of her resources, that Blizzard, and outside of that, not as much to destroy them anyways. Kael'thas gets his Flame Strike. His Living Bomb can also spread on the minions, so I think maybe they'll take the lead, but
nope.
Pretty quick here. Jaina, it's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, no, Blizzard does a really good job of wave clear. Kael'thas has to do a little bit more work, and he's getting pushed out. I think Ginormous Jaeger is just doing a better job in this rotation.
Yeah, let's get Gunny in that enemy rotational lane, and don't let them mount up for free, because they are like right now, if you're doing laps around the park, you guys are about a lap behind, and you got some catching up to do.
Yeah, well, as Cavalier Guest would always say, wave clear enables rotations. So until you clear that wave, Murden will be out on an island on his own, and with a Diablo, it can be a little scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Camp's being taken on the right-hand side. That's Ginormous Jaegers. Now prepared to invade. This camp's low. They got Murden holding the big bush there and trying to assault Dark Knight, who's playing Diablo, but Dark Knight says, no, I'm the spooky one. You're not getting away from me quite yet. And here we go with Ginormous Jaegers attempting to complete the steal on this camp.
Yeah, Gunny is trying to get in there, trying to get as much face as possible. Dark Knight taking a lot of damage, actually leaves the point to go after Kael'thas. Kael'thas is in trouble. Harnock, though, makes it out. Gunny has to jump away, and a successful invade from Ginormous Jaegers.
Is this White Mane struggling with the group heals? Deckard Cain doing a little bit better job. That's surprising to me because I feel like White Mane should have a bit of an advantage there, no?
Don't you hear our podcast cohort Jaxer saying don't pick White Mane?
I can hear him
right now yelling, stop picking White Mane. What are you doing?
Well, if Jaxer is here, he would have probably already just quit the cast because he'd been like, White Mane, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, take off his headphones, walk out, go get some White Castle or something. Anything but White Mane.
I still have hope, though. I think Ektar can still make plays. I do think you look at the burst potential that was talked about during the draft with the Jaina and the combo coming out with the APOC potentially. Maybe she gets a little bit with that Scarlet Aegis being able to fight through some of the burst coming from the enemy team. Do you think that is enough to negate it? Just shut off the burst, and that's why you draft White Mane?
I mean, that has to be it. White Mane previously, before her nurse, was able to take all sorts of damage. Teams would just survive things they wouldn't normally be able to. I don't know if you saw that earlier. It seemed like an animation glitch, at least on my end. Murden threw out a Stormbolt. Diablo charged him and got hit with it, even though the Stormbolt went past him. But here's an Imperious charge. Imperious taking a lot of Kael'thas damage. The bomb spread starts happening, and everybody's looking very low on Ginormous Jaegers.
I think Satat alluded to just that. How Kael'thas can get so much value, especially down in the Division C, where you're stacked up, spreading it. Spread out, boys. We gotta keep some health on our bars here. Still a fight break and lose Gunny. He had plenty of time to get some second win. Murden's still up front, and Diablo had to use a well tap, so Dark Knight, he's here. Look at Imperious trying to spear over the wall. He whiffs and now finds himself in some trouble.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. Diablo charged onto the spear target for Gambit, and Gambit missed. Ektar got pushed to safety by Diablo instead. I think maybe they mistimed that a bit. But with Imperious, Imperious jumps forward to get stunned out of his spear. Imperious goes down to the Jaina Kael'thas damage, but the Jaina damage follows up, and Murden goes down instead.
Yeah, they didn't even get off the wave. They're sticking in the shrine, got all the skeletal defenders, and this Punisher's coming out. Still 5 more seconds until Murden respawns, so only Sonya here as a warrior. So this fort is under a lot of trouble. Even Kael'thas, so low, gonna have to get some supporting from White Mane and won't be able to stand up and help destroy this guy.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a fort. They've got minions, they've got Raynor, and they've got a Jaina with cooldown. Yep, there it is. That's a fort gone, and Ginormous Jaegers taking a very quick lead and just being aggressive as all get out. They're just going after it.
You see our observer trying to highlight Diablo and Imperious throughout that objective push. We're soaking mid and top lanes, giving them now a 1-level lead, and it's a level 7 talent here for at least a few moments on top of this camp here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Lurk Patrol didn't send somebody to the offlane. Kael'thas trying to get out. The body blocks are real, but Harnock makes it out. Diablo instead getting peeled off by Murder, but Gunny's now in trouble. Dark Knight still taking a lot of poke damage, and it's Diablo that falls.
Oh, and they're going to successfully defend this camp.
Yeah.
And that was, the fight started at least down a talent here. Ogle could still be in trouble. There's a fend, and that's basically all of Jaina's health. See you later. You might be the captain of Ginormous Jaegers, but you're going to be in base for just a bit.
I think a little bit of over-aggression on the side of Ginormous Jaegers. They were like, okay, let's keep being aggressive. Let's keep going, not remembering that it's actually a 5-stack down here. Imperious is soaking all alone top. And so maybe lean back on that a little bit. Let Imperious get you guys some soak if no one's going to contest him. You don't need to go for kills on your opponent's side of the map if you're down a member.
Hey, Ghost. turns out there's some people in chat that haven't heard about Nexus Now. It's the NGS podcast. Ghost, where can people find that podcast? YouTube.com/C/Nexus Gaming Series will bring you to the NGS official YouTube page where there's a playlist with all of our episodes. We've had a total of 14 recordings. Technically 12 episodes with a couple supplementals thrown in. Go check them out. Support the cast. The pod's a lot of fun. It's me, Ghost, Stunk, and Jaxter. We bring you all the latest around NGS and Heroes of the Storm in general. So we're looking for listeners. Tune in. Check it out.
Yeah, it's good. Look, I knew it was on YouTube, but I didn't want to say go look it on YouTube. There's a podcast I actually didn't know what the Nexus Gaming Series channel was. I don't know if it was like Nexus Games or Nexus Gaming Series or what, but it is Nexus Gaming Series, so you can find it there. I don't know. Is it linked from the front page? Here comes a 10 invade though.
Invade.
Enough about us.
It's Ring missing on hard knock, but Kel'Thas in trouble anyway. Gets flipped into an APOC. There's going to be the stay a while whiffing, but it doesn't matter. They got the one kill, and that's going to be a successful invade, potentially setting them up for early advantage in the Shrine.
Yeah, Lurk Patrol really needed to be ready to disengage at a moment's notice. That camp, the only thing left on the map at that moment. You've got your opponents on 10. They're going to be looking for some kind of prize, and they found it right there.
And they're still getting soak advantage up top with Imperia, so now we're extended to a level and a half lead. More XP's coming once these turrets fall at mid, and boy, will they ever. Look at Ginormous Jaegers make a statement here in game number 3. Remember, we are tied up, win or go home here in the regular season. They don't want to go home quite yet. They want to keep the points rolling and make their way towards the playoffs. So, time for Lurk Patrol to win a fight here, right?
Yeah, they're pushing up. They finally got 10s. All but one of the ultimates on the side of Ginormous Jaegers haven't used. Deckard Canes will be up soon, so will Ring of Frost, that early kill. They've actually staggered this pretty well, but the ultimate advantage does belong to Lurk Patrol, and it is the Sonya leap.
Yeah, it's gonna be the ball lightning as well. Question marks there for me because I think Valkyrie may be a little bit more value with the Muradin with that leap. But here we go, nonetheless, a fight breaking out. There's gonna be the stay a while and listen, locking in the tank for Lurk Patrol, and the damage on the other side with that huge Ring of Frost, but is it enough? No! Diablo first to fall, souls will be reset. Whitemane could be next as Gambit trying to chase in, turning it 1-for-1 now as these teams still exchanging in the pit, Ghost.
It's an absolute bloodbath in this game. Cassius steps forward bravely to fight Imperius. Bickle may have just fed there. Does Bickle get out? Bickle does not get out. And Hydef trying to peel. Sonya survives with just 140 health. Gambit looking for more victims to fall prey to his murder fest, as it were. And that was insane. Diablo goes down early, but the damage advantage belongs to Ginormous Jaegers in that fight.
Dark Knight gonna get back to work on collecting all 100 of his souls, looking for a kill here on Muradin first, but they're not gonna be anywhere close with the Whitemane armor coming in too. So back behind the wall, and this fort's down. There's nothing that's gonna keep it up.
Yeah,
Punisher's
they've
still
just
pushing. With the Punisher still pushing, we're talking about a keep wall. We're talking about some damage on this keep too, maybe.
Gambit jumps over the wall. Diablo joins him. Gambit is going to get very low. There's the stay a while and listen, but not before Imperius goes down. Diablo's next to fall. They can't get the gate down in time. The Punisher, the Arcane Punisher, actually stopping the stay a while and listen. Not everybody was able to stay asleep when there are purple lasers everywhere. And that's a little bit of over-aggression on the side of Ginormous Jaegers for just one kill. There's the Sonya leap onto the Squish. He's trying to take the camp. Can they get Ogle? They do.
Wow. I mean, very similar to what we saw not too long ago, Ogle getting stuck out. There again, no reason to be on that camp without your warriors. Yeah. They got aggressive and they had to pay for it. Staggered death, Jaina down for 20 more, and we're pretty close now for Lurk Patrol to even up the talent here at 13.
Yeah, I think Ginormous Jaegers got a little cocky there. They thought, oh, and then we'll take this camp, we'll sneak it away from them. A little underestimating Lurk Patrol so far.
It leaps there. Of course, the Dwarf Toss could have been there. Didn't need it. And we're just a second away from level 13 talents for Lurk Patrol. Game number 3, they're leading in kill 7-5. But they got to find some way to win an objective. They lost that last one, and it cost them a bit of damage on that keep wall. And they're already missing 2 of their forts, so structures are starting to become an issue for them.
Yeah, the keep wall is a much bigger issue. I mean, it's post-XP Heroes of the Storm. In my opinion, forts kind of don't matter. Oh, but Oggo the Great caught out Gunny with a big stun. Oggo is dead. No way Jaina gets out of that. Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair to Oggle, when they were getting that camp, it could have been Oggle or Raynor, and it was Oggle on the Jaina. But that's going to give Lurk Patrol a little bit of structure damage, push into this fort. All killing forts do now in the game is give you access to the keeps. So that's the advantage they have right now. They're stepping it a little further, but they're out of minions. I don't think they push this any harder.
Yeah, they really want it, though. They especially want that well. We see where our next shrine's going to be, bottom lane. And there's still 2 wells nearby, and on the other side for themselves, Lurk Patrol, they don't have those wells in those same positions. So it's going to be a slight advantage, especially if a re-engagement's going to happen. We're talking about a Diablo who went at level 1 Devil's Due, so a well tap means a fresh Diablo.
Yeah, so fresh Diablo, seeing how many souls. He's only at 38 souls, though, so not quite as tanky as he could be.
We're going to find out 25 seconds for the shrine to activate. There is some pressure up top led by Sonya. That bruiser camp's going to push. And it doesn't appear as though anyone's heading up there to clear it. Imperius maybe would go up there, but he's waiting at a vent right now to see if he can find anyone sticking out.
Nobody stuck out. Gunny face checked that bush, but the 3 people that were waiting there decided Murden's not worth it. There's a stun on Diablo. Can they follow it up? There's the follow. The Imperius stun is in, but Dark Knight will not survive. Great engage from Gunny.
Huge pickup, because not only is Diablo dead for a 40-second cooldown, but you also make it so he's not gathering souls right now, which is really what Diablo wants to be doing. So a huge advantage, and they did all of that right before level 16s clicked in for Ginormous Jaegers. So well executed by Lurk Patrol, and they're giving themselves an opportunity to even up this bottom lane, which was started up earlier by Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, they're going to start in the bottom lane, push it out, get some XP from that lane. I want to call that play out. I mean, I don't know if anyone is... It wasn't, like, super spectacular, but that play right there is textbook competitive Heroes of the Storm. Murden stuns the target. Everybody follows up. It doesn't matter if it's the tank. It dies. And it's right next to their gate, too.
Yeah, really good. I think the route connected from Whitemane as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean... Everybody's, connected from Whitemane. Everybody put their CC down. Everyone went all in. It didn't matter that it was a Diablo. Murden picked a target. The team trusted in him, and they got a kill.
I'm actually looking. Oh, yeah, there it is. Harsh Discipline, 13. Yeah. Good job, Whitemane. And maybe Ektar has a little comfort on her. So far, hasn't been a tremendous amount of kills against his team, just the 5. And Lurk Patrol now up 9-5, pushing onto this keep. And with the Punisher still healthy, maybe can get through this wall and put some damage forth just like they did against them on the other side.
Oh, here comes Gambit with the flank. Bickle might be in trouble. Oh, Tri-Steam misses the Wrathman. Curious Gambit has to walk home with a spear between his legs. There's a leap onto the Punisher to follow up the Punisher leap.
Oh, big turnaround with the ring and the APOC 1. Gunny could be 2. Pops Avatar Dwarf tossing out. Gunny might be able to walk out of here, but the slows are going to come from Ogle, and they are being applied. That machine gun build ready to rip. Can Ogle slow him down before the Dwarf toss is here? No, but Diablo can charge and get the kill. See you later, Muradin.
Diablo Dwarf charges just as Muradin Dwarf tosses Dark Knight, puts him in place to flip Muradin around and win that team fight. That's huge for Ginormous Jaegers. Lurk Patrol pushing a little bit too hard. They, were doing a really good job playing that push with the Punisher, but they weren't able to find the engage off the Punisher that they wanted. They pushed in a little too hard trying to get that keep, and Ginormous Jaegers spots the weakness and get a kill. 2 kills.
What else can Ginormous Jaegers do right now to continue this trend? It looks like winning for a while. Well, I mean, let's be honest. It looked like for a while Lurk Patrol was starting to put their name on this map. They won a couple fights. They picked off Ogle a couple times. Is it just stick together as 4 and don't let your Jaina be caught in a situation like that, because it was in those moments where they started to slide back, but in the other moments, it seems as though Ginormous Jaegers may be the better team right now on Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, right now what Ginormous Jaegers are looking to do is get 20. They have a full level lead. And they may try to do it with getting this fort pushing in, get them a little bit more passive XP. It's not going to get them a lot of XP, to be honest. But it will let them race a little harder to 20. But here comes the response. Kael'thas still stuck way in the bottom. I don't know if he's on the map. No, they don't know where Kael'thas is. And they back up off of this fort. If Kael'thas can make it up and they can keep Ginormous Jaegers here, it might be a good time for Lurk Patrol to try and make a play happen. But with this wave pushed up with this camp, I don't think they'll be able to catch them by surprise.
Yeah, and checking out heroics, they got everything online, so they shouldn't be too afraid to jump in here. But it's Gunny, and can he make enough room to get the Kael'thas forward, get the Cassia forward? When Bickle's been able to be in there, his fens have been on point. He's connecting with his spears as well.
Yeah.
But the question is, can they move him up to the front line to stay away from the threat of Diablo, stay away from the threat of just the ring from Jaina, and the flanks coming from Imperius that have been so good tonight from Ginormous?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll be able to. And also right now, Lurk Patrol not trying as hard as they could be to get to level 20 ahead of the shrine. It actually may not be here in time for the shrine either. Ginormous Jaegers still half a level away. And I don't know where they're going to get the rest of this XP from before the shrine starts in 12 seconds.
They should have an idea of where Sonya and Whitemane are. They just showed bottom lane. So they know they have a little bit of room at least. Can they get the 20s from this wave here and the wave that's approaching on the top lane? I don't think it's enough, but it will put them pretty close.
Yeah, I think Lurk Patrol needs to be on Shrine right now. I think you got to be done clearing camps. If you're going to fight this and you're going to win, you need to do it now before they're 20, or you just give and I guess they're going to decide to push elsewhere on the map.
I maybe even would have liked to see them sneak through towards the keep, that wall we already know is down.
Yeah, forget the fort, man.
Yeah, but instead the fort's going to go down quick, and this is an exchange both sides. Will it favor Ginormous Jaegers? Remember, that Punisher's going to be coming top lane, and they're working down the fort as we speak. I'd assume they're going to push forward onto the keep as well, or will they?
Yeah,
but either way, the Punisher's theirs.
Yeah, the Punisher is there, so you'll be able to have the Punisher pushing on the keep. Smart of Ginormous Jaegers to take the fort, allow the Punisher access. Instead, they're getting the goats. The goatmen do nothing, guys.
Well, they're going to hope that they can push during this objective. Both those waves are up on keep walls, so they're going to hope their defense will be there, and someone from Ginormous Jaegers won't be, because they're going to be responding to these goats in mid and bot.
Yeah.
But from what we see right
gonna.
now from Ginormous Jaegers, they're ready to rip. They want to win it right here with level 20.
Oh, yeah, they've got level 20. They've got a Punisher. They're going to 5-man. There's just no way they go back and stop those goats. It's going to be at least a full minute before those goats get anything serious done. And in the meantime, they could just win this game. They've got level 20. They've got a Punisher pushing. Lurk Patrol have really put themselves behind the 8-ball, but the sleep only hits Murden. Can they get the kill? The follow-up from Jaina. Murden is silenced. The Avatar comes out. Finally, Gunny gets flipped. Is he going to go down? He gets the heals, and he just keep getting heal after heal.
Ektar keeping heroes up, but the keep's going to fall in just a second. There it goes. Ready to go to the core now is John Cena. The rest of Ginormous Jaegers also here. On the other side of the map, a keep is falling as we speak on the bottom lane. First hero dead, Jaina, and that's a lot of siege damage, Ghost.
That's a big deal for Ginormous Jaegers. Here comes the Apocalypse, but they're going to be able to finish off this Punisher. They're not going to get a single percent of shield damage on the core. They've got to kill on Jaina.
A staggered death could be game here. Gunny's going to stick on Diablo. If they find it, Jaina's down, and 2 keeps might be as well pretty soon.
Yeah, Gunny with the Thunderclap. Here comes Imperius going down. They're chasing these kills. They want more blood. Gunny trying to chase down Dark Knight on Diablo. Dark Knight trying to maybe go down as quickly as he can. Yeah, finally gets rid of. Down goes Diablo. And wow, this keep has finally gotten killed. The Goatmen finally did take it. It was about a minute, as I said. And Onthought now has to clear it out. They're making their way down through. I don't know. Diablo is back. He doesn't have any more souls. They will try to core through the bottom lane.
This is risky. This is risky.
But it is 5v4. Imperius back in 28 seconds. They've got Jaina. Jaina has ring available. Deckard
Hyperion in 5.
Hyperion comes up in 5. That could push them off. Instead, they back off core, and they're just going to get a keep and try to live another day. That could be dangerous in itself. I think it's just as dangerous.
Yeah, super risky. There's the Hyperion and the Scarlet Aegis going to keep him alive. Great work by Ektar again, making sure no one falls. But look at the cooldowns used. Phoenix, Avatar, Scarlet Aegis, all for what, Ghost? Absolutely nothing.
Really rough. Lurk Patrol goes on a very expensive sightseeing tour of the enemy's core. Instead, they're just going to walk away with the camp.
Did they get a nice picture, a nice little screenshot, sent to mom, put on the fridge?
Yeah, see, this is what the core looks like real close. Let's see if the next
down
the coins inside of it.
Keeps down on opposite corners of the map. But we look at where our next Immortal is going to be, or Punisher rather. It's bottom lane, and that's going to favor Lurk Patrol if they can win it. But we still have plenty of match to go on. One big fight either way. It doesn't matter for the rest, all these wave clearings and worrying about who's getting camps. It's going to come down to just one fight from here, Ghost.
You know what I'd like to see from Lurk Patrol? Have them just sit in the bush. Don't do this camp. And in fact, Ginormous Jaegers trying to find it out. High Def is way in the back, but Sony might be able to come there. There might be a big fight over this camp. Gunny taking a lot of damage, but the Phoenix is going to successfully push them off. And Ginormous Jaegers decide that they're going to take a fight another time.
It's smart. I mean, the Jaegers, I think they could have jumped in with Diablo, charge on in, try to make that defense, but why? Really no reason to do it. You're still missing souls on D.
Yep.
You still have all these other lanes pushing at you, and in the event you lose that fight, you lose this set. So they didn't want to take the risk there. They're going to hold on for another day, wait for this objective.
Yeah, camp advantage belongs to Lurk Patrol. They have their lanes so pushed out. I'd like to see Lurk Patrol play with vision a little bit more. Maybe not be exactly where the enemy expects you to be.
Still up top, we do have one of those bruiser camps pushing. It's not going to be of too much use this late, but it might start pressuring down and giving them more catapults there to neutralize some that are coming the other direction. But here we go. Fight's breaking loose. Gunny getting pulled back by Diablo. Popped Avatar early. There's the Hyperion. And it's only hitting Murden for now. The rest of Lurk Patrol too far back. Ball Lightning. And this one is going to be infinite, but it's going to be spread out. And avoided the rest of it. But Wrath of Injurious pulling back the white main, and she's in trouble, Ghost.
Oh, Harnock almost gets killed. Imperius finds the sub, but Ektar now is in trouble. The white main healing, keeping her alive, but there's a flip onto Bickle. Ginormous Jaegers just can't pick a target, and they finally find Murden. Jaina almost goes down, but it's the Lurk Patrol's Punisher. It's pushing on core, but if you're Lurk Patrol, this was a game change. This was your win condition, and they have to instead heal up.
Punisher, and they tapped and didn't stick with the Punisher.
I mean, they lost a bunch of heroes. I think they were maybe worried about losing more. Everybody seemed a little bit low, but you've got a white main. Your team is going to be healed up a little faster. I don't think you need to go back all the way to base. And now this Punisher is going to be worth nothing. So they're going to try and use the Shaman camp to get some pressure on the core of Ginormous Jaegers. And
I mean, another wall. There's value to be
had. There is.
Don't know where our next Punisher is going to be, but yeah, I mean, they got the win condition, but they didn't take the win.
Yeah, I feel like both teams kind of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory in a lot of these cases.
To level 22, 12-8 is the kill count, and we're approaching our 26th minute of the game. What changes from here? Not much. It's just going to be an assault.
Oh, he can't get the flip
for the picks.
Oh, Ektar moves away, right-clicks faster than Dark Knight can hit E, and Lurk Patrol is on the run. This is the lane without a keep for Lurk Patrol. Ginormous Jaegers not going to push the issue too much. Maybe they're going to wait for their minions. Instead, they're going to look for map pressure elsewhere, as well as you still need somebody to alleviate bot.
There's still camps to be had, and we know Lurk Patrol, they've been looking to grab these on cooldown, especially in this late game. They're going to be a little bit more patient here.
No one checks this bush, I swear.
Furious.
Diablo face checks the bush that Murden was in, but there's no follow-up. The rest of the team finally actually showing. There's Murden caught way out. Finally, Dwarf tosses out, and they're going to give this camp over to Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Sonya wanted to rip the leap and try to take an engagement, but they played it safer. I don't mind playing it safer there either. Again, I think the importance is going to be on the shrine. Losing a fight before the shrine is almost cheapening this end game. Like, you want your perfect fight in the perfect spot, and Lurk Patrol's not going to settle for anything less.
Yeah, the core under attack, they have to send somebody back, and this is actually a point where Lurk Patrol could send somebody over to do an invade now that Jane's clearing out, but actually that'll be cleared up so fast they'll be able to rotate and defend any invade. Diablo looking out for it, and yeah, both teams just playing safe, just trying to win the next team fight and making sure their lanes are as pushed out as possible without getting too close to the enemy team.
Cruiser camp taken for Ginormous Jaegers, and now also taken for Lurk Patrol. We're still waiting for our last objective, and now our teams, there's nothing left to do on the map. They're just going to wait around, do the safest of all clearing possible.
Punch a goat in the face.
Continue waiting. Maybe order some Uber Eats.
Yeah, like, get up, take a bio, grab some drink, and yeah, Ginormous Jaegers being very confident in making sure that their camp wins out, but Lurk Patrol will simply clear it. It does allow Ginormous Jaegers the advantage of getting on the shrine early. They may try to take a forward position and bush gank them.
So, chat, 1 to 10, how much tension can you feel right now? Because I'm feeling every
I think Odd Thought showed.
now.
Yeah, they just show.
Jaegers,
They show. You can see you guys. They know exactly where you are.
Did they poke out of the bush?
Well, not currently, but they walked. Yeah, they just walked in between these bushes and they showed on the minions. But yeah, Gunny actually way out Dark Knight, getting stunned. Imperious still in that bush, misses the Cassia, goes through and gets the Diablo, but Cassia and Diablo trade out. There's the Ring of Frost coming down, but Cassia
away from high
yeah.
def. Sonya lives, getting some supporting from White Main Gambit, trying to push back the rest of Lurk Patrol. So far, a 1-for-1 Diablo for Cassia, but the healing seems a little bit better right now from Deckard Cain, and he didn't even go Endless Flask at 20.
Yeah, both teams using all of their ults. Now both healers getting everybody back up the full. There's a 3-man impale coming out from Gambit. Harnock is in trouble. Harnock, do they have Arcane Barrier still available for them? Gambit goes for the Wrath of Anguirus, lands on the Sonya. Can they follow up? The Ring of Frost comes out again. Harnock, though, chasing down Aga the Great, and that's a Jaina kill. Jaina went for Cold Snap, able to have that ring up in time. The Punisher belongs, it's an Arcane Punisher. It belongs to Ginormous Jaegers, but it's 3v4 right now with Jaina dead for 52 more seconds.
Oh, yikes. Is this another situation where it doesn't end? I mean, check out down bottom. Lurk Patrol, they're making the sprint. They want the core race. They don't want this game going on past 30 minutes. They see 4 catapults. They see Jaina dead, and they're going to take their chances. But if they lose this, that Punisher's going to rip through their core with only Cassia back.
Right now it's 4v4, and Lurk Patrol back off. Ginormous Jaegers realize what's going on. Cassia is enough. Oh, no, Bickle. Is Bickle going to be killed by John Cena? Down to his 400 health. And actually, Ginormous Jaegers realizing they're stopping the backs of Lurk Patrol, allowing this Punisher free reign. It's not going to get a lot of damage.
Oh, no, that's it. That's it.
Down
Bickle gets jumped on, and there's way too many catapults.
Oh, rough.
Yins, 29 minutes and 27 seconds. That's the longest game 3 I've had all season, and Ginormous Jaegers are going to take it. What a set.
Berta, did you expect to like that?
Okay, Lurk Patrol, that was actually a really smart play. I don't want to take away what they were trying to do because they baited Ginormous Jaegers away from pushing with the Punisher. That's big. The problem was the backs. Why back in the middle of the lane? Get to a safe spot, ensure your safety before backing, and you have that defense, and the game's not over. So a bit of misfortune at the end, Ghost.
Yeah, really rough. Ginormous Jaegers doing a really good job of doing what they had to do to make sure that their Punisher win and ended. And a little bit of hindsight, I feel like Cassia not able to clear those catapults. It wasn't really the Punisher that was trouble for Lurk Patrol. It was the catapults at the end.
Well, let's hear from our expert analyst, Satat, once again from Celeb Gaming. What were your thoughts there, Game 3, how it ended?
I'm 3 for 3, so that's good. Kudos to me. It worked out. It worked out extremely well. So what I think Lurk Patrol had the right idea there. Like you said, what they do as soon as they see Deckard back, they back, and they kept pushing forward, and that was a mistake. If they would have backed right there, they could have been able to defend the Punisher with just losing the keep. So that was just a small mistake, but they had the right idea to do it. I think what really got really made Ginormous Jaegers kind of top out is the Imperious play. Gambit, man, was in that back line all the time. He was getting resets. He was getting 3-man spikes, just totally disrupting the back line so KT couldn't sustain his damage out and he couldn't keep throwing flame strikes. I was surprised that KT took flame strike talent instead of the flame strike spreading bombs, because it's just so huge on maps like this where your flame strike will apply the bombs to heroes. So that was the one thing that surprised me. But I mean, the comp that Ginormous Jaegers had just executed really well, and they did a good job of executing it. And I love the team fights. Both teams had chances to win there. They just had to push their advantage a little harder in certain spots, and they wouldn't be able to win it. But good play from both teams, and congrats to Ginormous Jaegers.
Yeah, real quick, what do you think of the Wrath Vangeris pick from the Imperious? I mean, we saw it get value sometimes, but a lot of times it didn't really seem to work as well.
Yeah, when he took that, I was a little surprised. Like, the shield is just way better. There, I did notice 2 or 3 times he kind of flanked around the back and was able to pick up the white main for value, but you get the same kind of value out of the shield. And the reason why is the shield you can solo kill a healer if you hit all of your swords on that shield that he has at 10. So maybe just a play style, and he hasn't tried the other one, but it was interesting to see it, and I definitely don't think it could have got more value, especially the 20. There's so many good 20 talents for Imperious. The spell armor that gives unstoppable is huge. So, and he didn't take that. So, yeah, it was interesting.
So I don't know if we're going to try to line up an interview here.
Do we have?
Do we have one? Okay, so let's head on over to lobby 1 and then see what we got here.
Right, we are here.
Right, so we're here in lobby. We got the captain from the Winners Tonight Ginormous Jaegers. Ogle, welcome to the party. How's it going, man?
It's going great.
Awesome. Great to have you on. Really excited. It came down to the wire. And what a game number 3. How are you guys feeling?
Oh, that was a good, exciting game number 3. We're really hyped.
All right. Now, looking back, my first question actually is going to be about your drafts. Your first 2 drafts, it was Johanna Rexar. I mean, the Rexar, I think, played pretty well, but why such a high priority on that hero?
Yeah, so we think that the recent changes to him have really buffed him. Like, an untalented Zul'jin's basic attack is lower than Rexar's basic attack, so then you get a mini ETC we call Misha. So I just don't know how you can pass up that.
That's one way to call it.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm surprised that you would take him. Do you see more teams in your division contesting Rexar in the future?
I know the first week we played that the team ran Rexar against us, and because I think it was that morning, the day we played the game, that morning the change came in, and they ran the Rexar, and we just saw how powerful it was. So we just told our solo laner, "Hey, practice that hero," and he's done an awesome job of learning it. So.
All right, fantastic. Let me ask you about game number 1. You guys did a great job of handling that map. They come at you with the Lost Vikings. What was your response to that?
I don't know. We just kind of looked at it and we were like, okay, so we just control bottom lane and have the Rexars split soak, and I think we should be fine. We just make sure and prioritize our camp so they can't bribe it out from under us.
So you guys actually went in that game with a Leeming. Was that in response just to help with the resets, some squishy Vikings, and extra orbs?
We were already planning the Leeming at that point. We were questioning whether or not to go Raynor, but then after the Vikings, it was like the reset value from Vikings is just going to be too good, so we stuck with the Leeming.
Awesome.
Now, looking at game number 2, you guys took a L here. It seemed like the composition was having a tough time doing really winning team fights against Lurk Patrol in that game. How did you guys adjust after this draft?
Second game, I don't know. That was kind of weird. We totally did not draft for the map objective, which, hindsight's 2020, and that was a big mistake. The team fight, there was a little bit of non-communication between the tank and the DPS, and we kept having cooldowns used with no follow-up. So, we just weren't communicating as well as we did in the first game. We've definitely had trouble when we've won the first game. The second game has always been a kind of a stomp in the other direction. I think we get a little too excited and forget that we're mortals. So I don't know. That's why we
Alright.
took him to BOE, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, speaking of mortals and the opposite of them, I guess. You guys come back with the Diablo. You guys totally changed how you drafted, as opposed to the almost carbon copy draft that you did from game 1 to game 2. Was it just having first pick that made the difference, or did you want to go for a different style?
It was the first pick. Like, we've always prioritized first pick in our things, and so we lost the game, and that gave us first pick. So
there you go.
And then they let the Diablo through, and I mean, Dark Knight's Diablo is, I don't want to say, invulnerable, but it's basically a game winner if we get it.
Well, I kind of highlighted Dark Knight a bit on the Johanna. I thought it was also pretty impressive, but late game, Diablo did make a play, finding that APOC, even threw a Hellgate in there, but that's kind of what won that final objective.
Yeah.
Ultimately the game. So yeah, hats off there to Dark Knight. Impressive plays. Anyone else on your team that you personally want to highlight that you felt did a great job tonight?
The Rexar play was definitely on point. The Li Ming play in the first game especially was very good on Nemesis side of things.
Needle.
I was feeding with the Hanzo, so he was just securing the kills for me.
There was a sick Hanzo play. Remember the arrow play of the game, map 1? Yeah. Or wait, no, that was it?
Yeah, game 1.
Bottom keep.
Yeah.
Flew into the enemy team with play of the game, killed 2 people immediately.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I like died to the the echoing corruption.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It's okay.
I do want to know what your guys' mindset was in game number 3. That game lasted a long time. What was your plan to put the game away?
And game number 3, we were just I don't know, we wanted to take a fight on our terms, because like we'd done a bunch of fights in the open where Diablo wasn't getting value. And so the objective spawned middle, and we're like, okay, so we just need to make sure and get Diablo to open this fight, because we've been trying to do it with Sleep, but Muradin was the only one that we could ever get to. Because like if Deckard stepped up any further, he was just going to get blown up. So we just wanted to try to dictate the engage, because Muradin had been jumping in to dictate their engages, and we weren't punishing that enough. And especially once it got to 20, it's almost impossible with the 70 armor to punish a jumping in Muradin.
Yeah.
So like we just wanted to make sure that we got to decide the engage.
All right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It was a great setup at the end too in the bush, trying to wait for it. It worked out. So Todd, you got anything you want to ask here for Ogle?
Nothing. It was a really good series. I love watching it. I like the priority on Deckard. Is that just a comfort pick for you guys, or why is Deckard such a high priority for you right now?
I think that's definitely a comfort pick. I think, and Odd Thought definitely is, told his opinion over and over that he thinks Deckard is way under rated. So like the AoE on his potion healing, like just does a massive amount of heals, and like especially when you're grouped up, it gives him the 10 armor, the AoE healing, the root, and everything. It just works really well with the blow up combo we went for. So like, because they denied us the Zeratul, which we would normally try to set that up with the Void Prison, but that gives us the stay a while and listen to set up the whole combo. I mean, the Diablo definitely dictated some of the combo setups as well.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Cool.
So Ogle, we've made it to the end of the night. You made it with the 2-1 victory. You get 2 points in the standings. You're probably feeling good. But we can't let you go without giving you an opportunity for shout-outs. You got anything you want to say tonight?
Definitely shout out to Odd Thought. He really came in. We lost our support player, and he's filled that role really well, and definitely added a lot to the team in the shot calling and game knowledge area. Shout out to the rest of the team as well. They all did great tonight. Really proud of them. Definitely excited going forward here. Shout out to my fingers and toes that I can always count on, my arms for always being by my side, and my legs for always supporting me.
Amen.
Shout out to you guys for casting this. That's awesome.
You.
Looking forward to watching the VOD.
Pleasure.
Mm-hmm. All right, that has been Ogle the Great, captain of the winners, Ginormous Jaegers, going up 2-1 tonight on the Thursday night showdown. So Todd, thank you so much for joining us. That was an absolute pleasure having you give us some advanced insight into these teams.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was a great thing to watch, and I hope some people learned some stuff, and I look forward to possibly sneaking in the future and giving some more insight. So,
Before you go,
Yeah,
let them know
don't
where they
sleep
can
his
find
yet.
you. Let them know what's going on with Celeb right now.
Okay, so a couple things. We are in Estiv. Our first match is coming up this Thursday against Revive Esports. So we'll be playing Thursday. They're going to have matches on Thursdays and Fridays and a Saturday match. So you can watch us at Estiv. We are also playing NGS. We are in Heroic Div, and we're doing pretty well in that. We haven't lost a game yet, which is great. And we're just all over the place, and you can check me out at satat_hots. I'm often called the history buff. I teach history while I play HOTS, so it's kind of fun to watch, and some people seem to enjoy it, so I'll keep doing it, and that's where you can find me and what Celeb is doing right now.
Awesome. A lot of guys on Celeb doing a lot of streaming. I know Evasion's been starting to get into it a lot more. So check them out. Check out Celeb in Div S. Cheer them on. Also cheer on Revive. They're both members of NGS. They're playing in Division S. We wish them the best of luck. And I'm looking to see a championship this season, Satat.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for multiple championships coming our way.
All right, guys. You guys know me as Murda on Twitter, at MurdaRG. Of course, on Twitch is the same, and YouTube. Definitely, I'm going to say it again. Check out the podcast Nexus now. It's on the NGS YouTube page. We would love for you to be a listener. Go Stunk. Sign us off, baby.
All right, you can find me at twitch.tv/ghostdunk. I'm also, of course, as Murda said, doing this every Thursday night here at twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series is also. If you're watching us on the VOD on YouTube, that's where you can find the Thursday Night Showdown. I'm also on Twitter at IlluminatedWax. That's basically it for me. Oh, yeah, make sure to check out Nexus Now, Murda and I's podcast, as well as Nexus Edge. Big shout out to the production team who puts on an amazing pre-show. Turd Herder, Arthur Lau. Arthur Now. God, man, too much Arthanon.
No Ziltoid on that panel. They bring on guests. They do a great job. And it's everyone behind the scenes as well with the Nexus Edge staff. All the analysts doing a great job. We appreciate you. Thanks for making us look good here on Thursday nights, too.
Yeah, couldn't do this. And, of course, our production guy that's been in my ear all night shouting wonderful information at me, Seventh Ace.
Thank you kindly.
He just thanked me off air. I don't know if he went on, but he's been doing production. All right.
Oh.
He actually came on. All right. So now you know that my imaginary friend Harvey is real. So thank you so much to Seventh for showing up and doing all the work today. I know it was especially a pain for reasons. That's going to do it for us on Thursday Night Showdown. Once again, the result, Ginormous Jaegers going up 2-1 over Lurk Patrol. I've Dunk. My co-caster has been Murda. My analyst has been Satat. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Signing off for Nexus Gaming Series. See you later.
Let the battle begin!
And that's going to be a 4-man mosh pit with the Ring of Frost connecting huge. This is actually going to be the big showdown. And that's a triple kill. A huge flame strike going on to everybody. Here's the Riptire onto Dimagio. Dimagio's in trouble. We might have a comeback for the ages. It's very close. This boss is not even dead, but 65% of the core here. This could be game